is currently underway at the Parliament. BJP's President JP Nadda is meeting NDA leaders. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also present in the meeting. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is also in attendance, and the meeting has already started in the Parliament House. Major leaders of the NDA are present. Upendra Kushwaha, Jayant Chaudhary, Prafulla Mahanta, Lalan Singh, Shrikant Shinde, Praful Patel, Ram Mohan Naidu, Chirag Paswan, Dileshwar Kamath, Milind Deora, G.K. Vasan, TDPs, Labu Krishna, Anupriya Patel, Ramdas Athavale, all of them are present, along with Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju. In fact, Arjun Ram Meghwal is also there in attendance. It's a high-level meeting that's currently underway in the Parliament House, and this is a key meeting for the Vice President elections, which is slated for September 9th. And the notification was already announced. August 21st will be the last day to file nominations, and August 22nd, the nominations will be scrutinized. And the polls will be on September 9th. And ahead of the vice presidential election, we have a key meeting that is being chaired by BJP National President JP Nadda. And what we understand is that the big wigs of the Saffron Party and the NDA grouping are also present at the Parliament House. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. We have Arjun Ram Meghwal, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, and all the other NDA leaders are present in this particular meeting. They're strategizing for the upcoming VP polls on September 9th. And what we understand is that the meeting is currently underway even as we speak, viewers, and this meeting is regarding mutual coordination and preparations for the vice presidential election. BJP President JP Nadda is chairing this key meeting with NDA leaders, and Union Home Minister Amit Shah along with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is also present. And the focus of the meeting will be on mutual coordination as well as the preparations for the VP polls are being discussed. Moving on to more breaking news coming in. Israel stands with India amid tariff war. This is a big statement, a big geopolitical development that we are tracking. Israel has expressed solidarity with India amid Trump's tariff rants. Every day, Donald Trump is coming out with new tariffs against India. First, it was 25% plus penalty, then 25% plus another additional 25%. And now secondary sanctions have also been announced, which will be made official very, very soon. And amidst all of this, Israel has expressed solidarity with India. Israel stands with India amid tariff war. We have our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us live from Israel. Abhishek, this is a huge development. Israel is backing India, standing with India during these times of need. Help us understand this big decision and the big statement coming in from Israel.
Well, this is now can be attributed to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We have just come out of a meeting with him at the Prime Minister's office in Jerusalem, and that's a very big takeaway, Deepak. My personal takeaways, first one was, he said that India-Israel relationship is going up, up, up. Now, this is significant because of the kind of strong relationship that exists between Israel and United States and Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump. For Prime Minister Netanyahu to say that irrespective of what turbulence is there between India and the United States, our relationship is solid. And for the first time, and I was really bit surprised, rather pleasantly, that he was open to taking the question on India-Israel defense partnership, defense relationship, and he mentioned how the relationship, that aspect of the relationship is strong. He admitted to Israel's role in, the role of Israeli defense platforms in the Operation Sindoor. In fact, he said that the cooperation and the platforms, Israeli platforms with India predates the Operation Sindoor, but they were very effective. They are battle-tested, battle-hardened platforms, and they proved their mettle, and they proved their worth in the Operation Sindoor that India had to launch in response to Pakistan's attack in Pahalgam, terror attack in Pahalgam. So I think that was the second key takeaway from the conversation that we had for about 45 minutes with him as part of a delegation here. We asked some sharp questions on Gaza. I personally asked him about what he means when he says that he's going to intensify the Gaza war, given the kind of isolation Israel is facing, the kind of pressure Israel is facing from the West, given the humanitarian crisis in Gaza Strip. And he said that, okay, fine, much of the humanitarian crisis that you are seeing is because of Hamas, and it's they're cooking up that has led to this situation. He said that, yes, we would face some headwinds, but then we are going to intensify our military operations further after having completely decimated, according to him, the nuclear threat from Iran. Now they are completely focused on finishing off Hamas, whatever time it takes. He in fact said that this thing can end tomorrow if Hamas completely demilitarizes itself and hands over the administration of Gaza Strip to somebody which is non-Hamas, non-Palestine authority, which if they don't do it, Israel would do it after completely finishing off Hamas. So the intensification of the Gaza operations, for which, in fact, he has called a cabinet meeting later in the day to thrash out details of how it's going to go in. He said that this is going to be a short, quick operation, and we are going to, and that he, according to him, we are going to make sure that Hamas is completely finished inside.
Absolutely. Israel has stood with India. And another statement, in fact, important point to mention here is that there's a basic understanding in Washington, D.C. that India is a solid partner. And this is also important if you look at the statement that India remains a solid partner as far as India and U.S. are concerned. So do you think there could be some sort of a resolution going forward with the intervention of other countries as well? All right, we'll try and reconnect that line with my colleague there. But now Israel has weighed in amid the India-US tariff war. In fact, there's a statement that has been issued and it, in fact, goes on to say there's a basic understanding in Washington, D.C. that India is a solid partner. India stands out. India and US are two terrific friends with so much common ground. They should be able to find a solution. And this is, in fact, what Israel has stated. Netanyahu has weighed in amid the India-US tariff war that has been going on. For context, US has imposed 50% tariff on India, 25% for, in fact, purchasing oil from Russia is what we know. But now a statement that has come in from Israel. They have stated that India and US should be able to find a solution, and also going on to say that there's a basic understanding as far as India and US is concerned that India is a solid partner. So it remains to be seen whether with the intervention of the common friends of United States and India, that is Israel, there could be some sort of resolution and some sort of solution as far as the tariff war is concerned. All right, this is in fact the statement that has come in from Israel at a time when the tariff war is going on. United States has imposed the tariff, 50% tariff on India, and this tariff war between the two countries has escalated. And India has also given point-by-point reply to US President Donald Trump as far as the tariff war is concerned. India has maintained a very calm tone and tenor on this entire issue. Let me go across to my colleague, Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor, who's reporting live from there. A statement that has come in from Israel. It goes on to mention that there's a basic understanding in United States that India is a solid partner. In fact, saying that both the countries should be able to find a solution. So going forward, as I was asking you, with the intervention of a common friend, could there be any sort of resolution between the two countries going forward?
Well, I can tell you, he did hint that maybe he can have a private conversation both with Prime Minister Modi and President Trump, but he said that he would rather keep it off the conversation. But he did mention that with the kind of common ground that exists between India and the United States, and the terrific partnership, he used the word terrific partnership that exists between the two, and the kind of role India plays in Asia, the kind of bonhomie that exists between the two sides. I think the two sides should be able to sort it out. So, without ruling out the possibility of his role in getting the two sides quietly together, he mentioned that otherwise also so much exists between India and the United States, which should make them come together on the table and solve the issue. Yes, so I think the world is taking note of this situation that we are seeing, and the fact that everyone is concerned. And when he said that maybe I can help, but not I can help, but he said that if there is a role, we would rather keep it private. The world sees that the developments on the India-United States front with some concern, and whosoever can help would help. It's not that he has been asked to mediate from both the sides, but then as a well-wisher and a friend of both India and the United States, Prime Minister Netanyahu told us that he's going to be hoping that both sides are able to sort it out among themselves.
Absolutely. In fact, this is a statement coming in from Israel. They're weighed in on the US-India tariff war that is going on currently. 50% that has been imposed by United States. But Abhishek Kapoor, on one hand, we are seeing that there are several leaders. Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, in fact, has weighed in on this as well and accused India of funding Putin's vicious war machine, similar to what Donald Trump has also stated. And on the other hand, a friend of both India and United States has come in and weighed in on this. So there's a clear division if we talk about globally as far as the global leaders are concerned on this.
Well, you see, he was asked a specific question about how he sees the development on tariffs, to which he responded, again, as I said, as a friend of both sides. The Prime Minister Netanyahu has a great intuition with Prime Minister Modi. In fact, during our 45 minutes of conversation, he mentioned at least 4 or 5 times the amount of work that Prime Minister Modi has done to make India-Israel relationship even stronger. And then, of course, we know he is a very good friend with President Trump. He has, in fact, recommended President Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize for his role in the Abraham Accords. So I think with that benefit of knowing both the sides, being friends with both the sides, he wished that, and the kind of common ground that exists between India and the United States, that both the sides would be able to tide over the period of turbulence that has hit the relationship because of the tariff war that's being single-handedly being carried out by President Trump. I think it's a very significant development, and it really gives an idea of the kind of concern that has got generated in the world community, because everyone sees India as a balancer, India as a pivot, India as a key player in terms of balancing on the side of the West, a multipolar world which otherwise would become lopsided in favor of China. So I think in that sense, Prime Minister Netanyahu's comment gain that much more salience and significance for the rest of the world to really follow, given the kind of a very almost vendetta-driven position that President Trump has really taken against India in the last 48 hours.
Absolutely, and United States has escalated this tariff war. India has called is completely unfortunate. Now, going forward, is there a possibility of any sort of resolution between the two nations, given how this has panned out in the last 2 weeks?
Sorry, I lost your question, Akanksha. There, can you come again? Question?
All right, so as the United States has escalated this tariff war, I was asking you, as India has mentioned that this is completely unfortunate that such a tariff has been imposed on India. Going forward, is there a possibility of any sort of resolution? Because we have seen similar things pan out with China as well as Brazil. So in case of India, is there a possibility of any resolution in the coming weeks?
Well, Akanksha, you see, ultimately, the tariff war between India and the United States is a bilateral issue to handle. it's unlikely that if any world leader calls President Trump and wants to prevail upon him, is going to change the position. And of course, we have seen that over the last 2 days, India's response has been absolutely firm and clear that while this is unfair and unjust, the kind of tariffs that have been slapped on us, we'll deal with it. In fact, remember, Prime Minister Modi earlier in the day, the statement that he has made while speaking with in a farmers' event, that we are going to strongly defend the farmers' interests is an indication that India is not blinking. And that what is off the table in terms of our bilateral trade agreement, which was being negotiated or is being still negotiated between the United States, is going to remain off the table, which includes, of course, the agriculture sector, specifically the genetically modified crops. So I think in that sense, India is going to do what it needs to do, driven by its own interests. And in fact, Prime Minister Netanyahu said that what we are doing for us, be it our war with Iran, be it our doubling down on our Gaza war, be it the manner in which we took down the Hezbollah, effectively turning the war of the last 2 years into a 7th-front war. In fact, he said that if you include the United Nations, it's an 8th-front war. And then, in that sense, it's Israel's war to fight, and you have to fight it from a position of strength, and you have to be guided by your own national interest. Similarly, in the case of India, he said that like it happened in the case of Operation Sindoor and post the Pahalgam terror attack, India would be guided by its own interest. But of course, he wished that the kind of friendship that exists between India and the United States, and more than friendship, the word he used was the kind of common ground that exists between India and the United States. Hopefully, the two sides will be able to sit together and find a solution to this ongoing turbulence insofar as tariffs are concerned.
Absolutely, a big statement that has come in from Israel. Thanks so much for speaking to Republic TV. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this. Now, shifting our focus to Rajasthan, well, we are learning that hearing is underway in Delhi High Court on Udaipur files. And this is a big breaking news that we are getting for you. Delhi High Court is hearing the plea against Ministry of Information and Broadcast order clearing certification of Udaipur file movie based on Kanhaiya Lal Taylor murder case. In fact, this is a plea that has been filed by Mohammad Javed, who's accused in the murder case, and the matter has been taken up by the Delhi High Court. And we're learning is that senior advocate Gaurav Bhatia has said that when there is a competing right, my friend has not shown directly or proximately that the trial will affect the case as well. So for more on this, let me go across to my colleague Aditya, who joins us live on the broadcast with more details. Aditya, this hearing is currently going on. Firstly, tell us about what this petition is all about and about the hearing as well.
Well, the petition was filed today in the High Court after the government dismissed the petition yesterday. Now, this petition is filed alleging that if the movie is released tomorrow, this will affect the fair trial of the accused in the Kanhaiya Lal murder case. Now, this matter was mentioned today and was brought for urgent hearing today. The argument was first led by AAG Chetan Sharma and now from the producer, it's Gaurav Bhatia. From the side of Javed, the argument is being led by senior advocate Menka Goswami. Now, what Menka argues is that if the movie comes out, it might jeopardize the fair trial right of the accused. Whereas Gaurav Bhatia, with his arguments on the other side, is contending that there has been not a case being presented by the accused before the High Court that if the movie comes out, considering the fact that there is not been a single narration being made that this case is about Javed, and second, there is not one name or anything repetitive in the movie which might allege that this movie is about Javed. So in this case, Javed has argued that if the movie comes out, this might jeopardize his fair trial, but Gaurav Bhatia...
Absolutely, Aditya, hold on with us. We have another breaking news coming in from one of the Delhi courts. The court has allowed 26 26/11 Mumbai terror attack, alleged mastermind Tawur Rana to talk to his family regarding engaging a private counsel to represent him. We're learning that Tawur Rana has also been granted permission to talk to his family members. In fact, the Delhi's Patiala House Court has delivered a verdict on 26/11 Mumbai terror attack mastermind Tawur Rana's plea to speak to his family. He had also sought permission from the court to have a private counsel as far as this case is concerned, because right now he has been given a legal aid as far as the 26/11 case is concerned. Let me once again go across to my colleague Aditya. Aditya, tell us more about the verdict in this case. We are hearing that Tawur Rana has been allowed to speak to his family.
Well, in this case, the in-camera which no courtroom when the verdict was announced. In this case, the Patiala House Court ordered that Tawur Rana can have a telephonic conversation with his family regarding the counsel. Now, this comes after the Patiala House Court issued notice to both NIA and the jail authorities regarding their response on whether he should be allowed for a telephonic conversation with his family. But today at 4 p.m. pronouncement in the in-camera proceeding, which said no one in the courtroom, no media, no individuals, no one. This is coming exclusively from the Republic. The first order, which is that he being allowed by the Patiala House Court that he can have a phonic conversation with his family regarding the counsel.
Absolutely. So Tawur Rana has been allowed to speak to his family, but there's only one condition that he will have to follow, and that is that he will be monitored. With this, we're taking a very short break. But before we take a short break, listen in to what Kiran Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, is saying.
Election of the Vice President of India will be till 21st August, last date of nomination. The polling will be held on 9th September and counting will be held on same day evening. Today there was a NDA Parliamentary Party floor leaders meeting chaired by Rajnath Singh ji. All the senior leaders, including the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, Leader of the House in Rajya Sabha, JP Nadda ji, and all the floor leaders of NDA party attended the meeting. In the meeting, it was unanimously decided that the NDA party has given authorization to start the process, including the selection of candidate to Honorable Prime Minister and Leader of the House in Rajya Sabha, JP Nadda ji. The decision and the course taken by the Honorable Prime Minister will be accepted by all the NDA parties. मैं हिंदी में दोहरा देता हूँ. एनडीए पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी का फ्लोर लीडर्स का बैठक में प्रस्तावना पास किया है कि आने वाले उपराष्ट्रपति का चुनाव के लिए प्रोसेस को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए और कैंडिडेट का नाम तय करने के लिए पूरा अधिकार देश के आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी और साथ में राज्यसभा में सदन के नेता जेपी नड्डा जी को सौंपा है. आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में जो भी निर्णय होगा वो सब सर्वसम्मति से एनडीए पार्टी समर्थन करेंगे. ये प्रस्तावना आज पारित किया है. ये मैं सूचना आपको देना था. वो ऑथराइज किया है. अब जैसे निर्णय करेगा फिर उसके बाद 9 तारीख को चुनाव होगा तो हम लोग सब
कब तक सर फैसला कर लेंगे सर?
नहीं, फैसला आज तो अधिकृत रूप से
वही कब तक कर लेंगे? क्या बीजेपी का होगा या क्या कुछ?
वो तो हम तो तय नहीं कर सकते, मैं तो आपको सूचना देने के लिए आए हैं। नाम को लेकर के चर्चा नहीं, चुनाव का पूरा प्रक्रिया के लिए और हमारा उम्मीदवार कौन होगा, सारा जो निर्णय आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी और साथ में सदन के नेता राज्यसभा में नड्डा जी को अधिकृत किया है, ऑथोराइज किया है कि जैसे वो निर्णय करेंगे पूरा एनडीए सर्वसम्मति से उसको सहमति देंगे और पालन करेंगे।
Sir, one quick question, because opposition is speaking about SIR debate and you have categorically said no to such a debate. Rahul Gandhi, has also spoken at record and said that we have proof that there was some bungling in the voters list and they are giving proof from one constituency of Bengal. So what do you have to say on that? Because every opposition political party is gaining strength from that perspective. So how will you counter that?
First of all, special intensive review of the electoral roll had happened numerous times. You know the dates, time, year. It has been carried out throughout since independence. Secondly, in Maharashtra, same electoral roll, when Congress party and its ally won majority of the seats in Lok Sabha, they were praising, they were happy, and then when they lost badly in Vidhan Sabha, then it has become problem for them. In a similar way, whether it's Karnataka or anywhere, the claims made by Sri Rahul Gandhi and his team are completely bogus. They are targeting the Election Commission of India only to tarnish the image of the Election Commission of India. Yesterday they targeted Supreme Court of India. The Congress party leadership said that Supreme Court cannot decide who should be the genuine Indian, how an Indian should speak. If Supreme Court cannot regulate the behavior of the citizens, then who can regulate? So yesterday they launched an attack on the judiciary. Today they again launched an attack on Election Commission of India. Every time, whenever it doesn't suit them, they start attacking the same institution. So my request is, let the parliament function. Don't divert the attention of the House. I have given my point in a statement made in the floor of Lok Sabha that anything which is sub judice, any matter which is beyond the control of the government of India, the people who are sitting in high constitutional office which are not under the control of the government of India, matter related to them cannot be discussed on the House because they cannot come and defend themselves, and government cannot defend on behalf of them because they are not carrying forward those exercises on the advice of the government. It is the independent exercise initiated by the Election Commission of India. So government cannot speak on behalf of the independent constitutional authorities. So the discussion cannot happen on the floor of the House. We are very clear about it because we don't want to undermine any of the constitutional authorities. अच्छा ठीक, मैं फिर से आपको कह देता हूँ, आज श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी ने फिर से इलेक्शन कमीशन को प्रहार किया है और एक एनजीओ ने बनाया हुआ कुछ प्रेजेंटेशन को फिर से दोहराया है।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो,
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
प्योर मसाला, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
Mujawar has been a part of the ATS team that investigated this Malegaon case, and what he has to say today is explosive. He's breaking the silence. Mahmood Mujawar ji, thank you. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए. First of all, आपको ये फैसला आज सुन के क्या लगा? Do you think justice has finally been done in the case, Mujawar ji?
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, कहीं तो न्याय हो गया। और ये न्याय मिलाने के लिए जो आपने जद्दोजहद की, जो आपने कोशिश की, वो सही में काम आई सर। खास करके मैं निरंजन स्वामी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, जिन्होंने मेरा कोई तुम्हारे चैनल से कोई संबंध नहीं था, मगर मेरे को ढूंढ के निकाल के आपने अपने स्टूडियो में बुलाया था और बुला के मेरे को पूछ के सही तरीके।
This is Republic Jack Pollywall Studio. Stay tuned for all the breaking news and updates. I'm Akanksha Khajuria. Let's get started.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian economy has been the fastest growing G20 economy for 8 of the last 11 years. And those are the only 8 in the last 77 years, during which India has been the largest, has been the fastest growing economy among the G20. So during the years that Rahul Gandhi's family ruled India, India's per capita income was declining relative to the rest of the world. Just listen to that. The average income of an Indian was declining relative to the average income of every human on earth. That is a remarkably
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Mujawar has been a part of the ATS team that investigated this Malegaon case, and what he has to say today is explosive. He's breaking the silence. Mahmood Mujawar ji, thank you. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए. First of all, आपको ये फैसला आज सुन के क्या लगा? Do you think justice has finally been done in the case, Mujawar ji?
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, कहीं तो न्याय हो गया। और ये न्याय मिलाने के लिए जो आपने जद्दोजहद की, जो आपने कोशिश की वो सही में काम आई सर। खास करके मैं निरंजन स्वामी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं, जिन्होंने मेरा कोई
This is Republic Jack Olival Studio. Stay tuned for all the live and breaking news updates. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Let's get started.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
The Indian economy has been the fastest growing G20 economy for 8 of the last 11 years. And those are the only 8 in the last 77 years during which India has been the...
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for staying with us this Thursday evening. I'm Ayana Mitra with you. Our top focus this hour remains on the high-level meetings that are currently underway in Moscow and are being attended by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. And of course, this comes at a time when the US has decided to ramp up the trade war against India. So we'll get to you that and a lot more. But first, the headlines at 5 p.m. Reports suggest Russian President Vladimir Putin to visit India soon, dates yet to be announced. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval holds talks with Russian Security Council Secretary in Moscow as Trump imposes additional tariffs on India.
और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
Prime Minister Modi sends a strong message over Trump's tariff, says he is ready to pay a personal price. Donald Trump threatens of imposing secondary sanctions after slapping 50% tariffs on India. India officially pauses procurement of 6 additional Boeing P-8I maritime patrol aircrafts as of August 2025. NDA passes a resolution, says JP Nadda and Prime Minister Modi is set to decide on the VP face.
कांग्रेस यहां सामूहिक हत्या करवाती थी और समाजवादी पार्टी उनके चेले के रूप में उनके पाप पर पर्दा डालने का काम करती थी, हत्यारों को बचाने का काम करती थी।
And it's UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's big allegation on Congress. He says the party allegedly was involved in orchestrating mass killings in Sambhal. All right, viewers, this is the biggest story of the day, and we're tracking this very, very closely. There are high-level meetings that are currently underway in Moscow as we speak. And in the latest, it's Security Council Secretary Shoigu who has met India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval in the capital city of Moscow. And he has said that strengthening the strategic partnership with India is of utmost importance to Russia. He's also gone on to say that Russia is committed to the idea of further strengthening the cooperation with India to achieve a more than just a world order and the supremacy of international law. This is a very important statement that is coming in from Moscow, and this reaffirms nothing but the strengthening of India-Russia ties, even as Trump continues to bully India and downplay the India-Russia partnership. Let's listen into that very important statement by the NSA.
Very rightly mentioned, Excellency, that we have got a very special relationship, a long relationship, and we highly value our strategic partnership. We have had high-level engagements, and these high-level engagements have contributed very substantially. We are very excited and delighted to learn about the visit of His Excellency, the President of Russia, President Putin, to India. I think that the dates are almost finalized now.
अभी कुछ देर पहले मीडिया में भी देखा है, चुनाव आयोग ने भी कुछ जवाब दिया है। उस विषय में भी मैं अपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में लाऊंगा, क्योंकि वो अभी पब्लिक डोमेन में है। मगर तकनीकी विषयों को अलग रखते हुए, एक वृहद विषय को लेते हुए, राजनीतिक विषय को लेते हुए मैं इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को संबोधित करता हूं। पहली बात है कि राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने आज तक उन राज्यों में कोई भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं किया जिन राज्यों में उनको जीत मिली है। ये जो मीठा मीठा गप-गप और कड़वा कड़वा थू-थू, यह जो सिलेक्टिविटी है कि हम सिलेक्टिव आउटरीच दिखाएंगे, यह भी भारत की जनता देख रही है। आप हिमाचल में जीतते हैं तो उस समय तो नहीं कहते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने अच्छा काम किया। उस समय तो आप नहीं कहते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कहीं ना कहीं फर्जीवाड़ा किया। उस समय आप फर्जीवाड़ा आपको नजर नहीं आता है, या आप बधाई भी नहीं देते हैं। उस समय आप न्यूट्रल हो जाते हैं। आप तेलंगाना में जीतते हैं, आपका मुख्यमंत्री बनता है तेलंगाना में, भारतीय जनता पार्टी हार जाती है। उस समय का कोई भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आप दिखा दीजिए कि राहुल गांधी ने कहा हो कि तेलंगाना में इलेक्शन कमीशन ने फर्जीवाड़ा किया है। उस समय किसी के ऊपर कोई प्रश्नवाचक चिन्ह नहीं उठाते हैं। जब आपको 99 सीट मिलती है लोकसभा के चुनाव में, तो आप पूरे देश में सेलिब्रेट करते हैं और कहते हैं देखो हमारी जीत हो गई। कैसे? यदि देश का लोकतंत्र हार गया, यदि देश का चुनाव आयोग ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड है आपके कहने के मुताबिक, तो आप सेलिब्रेट किस बात का कर रहे हो कि हम जीत गए हैं, हमें अधिक सीटें मिली है। तो कहीं ना कहीं एक सिलेक्टिव आउटरीच कांग्रेस पार्टी और राहुल गांधी में देखने को मिलता है। दूसरी बात है, राहुल गांधी का फ्रस्ट्रेशन की ये चरम सीमा है, और मैं बहुत सोच समझ कर बोल रहा हूं। आज जिस प्रकार के शब्दों का प्रयोग किया गया है, मैं तकनीकी विषय पे तो आऊंगा, मगर आज पहली आपत्ति मैं दर्ज करता हूं कि चुनाव में हार जीत ये लगी रहेगी। सबसे बड़े समय के लिए यदि विपक्ष में किसी पार्टी ने समय बिताया है, तो मेरा मानना है जनसंघ भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। हमारी पार्टी ने सबसे बड़े कालखंड के लिए विपक्ष के रूप में जिम्मेदारी संभाली, मगर कभी भी कोई भी ऐसा वाकया नहीं हुआ। कई बार हमने भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया है, मगर कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि इलेक्शन कमीशन के, चुनाव आयोग के अधिकारियों को धमकाने का काम हमारे किसी नेता ने किया हो। आज के शब्द क्या थे राहुल गांधी जी के? राहुल गांधी जी के शब्द थे, यदि मेरे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के ऊपर जवाब नहीं आया तो देयर विल बी सीरियस कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस, बहुत घातक परिणाम होंगे। सीरियस कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस को अगर हम ट्रांसलेट करते हैं तो हिंदी में अनुवाद बनता है घातक परिणाम होंगे। क्या घातक परिणाम होंगे? उन्होंने यह भी जस्टिफाई किया कि एक दिन ऐसा आ सकता है कि जब हम ऑपोजिशन वाले, अभी भी उनके मुंह में खुद ही कांग्रेस पार्टी के सर्वोच्च नेता के मुख से यह नहीं निकल रहा है कि एक दिन ऐसा भी आ सकता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी सरकार बना सकती। ही लैक्स कॉन्फिडेंस टू दैट एक्सटेंट। उस हद तक उनके मन के अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस और विश्वास नहीं है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी भविष्य में सरकार बना सकती है। वो आज भी कह रहे हैं कि ऐसा समय आ सकता है कि भविष्य में ऑपोजिशन कभी सरकार बना सकती है। तब चुन चुन कर एक एक अधिकारी को, वो कितना भी बड़ा क्यों ना हो, उसको छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा। ये किसकी भाषा है? ये एलओपी की भाषा है या एक, मैं तो खराब शब्दों का प्रयोग, अमर्यादित शब्द का प्रयोग करना कदाचित नहीं चाहूंगा, या सड़क चलते किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति की जो रोड रेज में बोलता है। दिस लैंग्वेज इज द लैंग्वेज ऑफ इलेक्शन रेज, कि आपके गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया है, आपके पार्टी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया है बिकॉज ऑफ नॉन परफॉर्मेंस, और आप इलेक्शन रेज में आ गए हैं। जिस प्रकार रोड रेज का हम केस देखते हैं, राहुल गांधी जी का ये इलेक्शन रेज है। ये कई महीनों से चल रहा है। जब आप कहते हैं कि चुन चुन के मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं, मैं बर्बाद कर दूंगा ऑफिसर्स को, दिस इज नॉट द लैंग्वेज। मैं सत्ताधारी पार्टी का प्रवक्ता हूं। मेरे बगल में आदरणीय केके जी बैठे हैं, ये सत्ताधारी पार्टी के प्रवक्ता हैं। मुस्कुराकर हमें इन प्रश्नों का उत्तर देना होगा। एक क्षण के लिए भी हमारे मुख पर एरोगेंस और अहंकार नहीं होना चाहिए। हम कौन हैं? हम नौकर हैं, हम जनता के सेवक हैं, चाकर हैं हम। ये जो हम आज बैठे हुए हैं इस चेयर पे और बात कर रहे हैं, जनता जनार्दन ने वोट दिया है उनकी नौकरी करने के लिए। बाबा साहेब अंबेडकर द्वारा बनाए गए संविधान के पन्नों में इलेक्शन कैसा होगा, कैसे कंडक्ट करेगी चुनाव आयोग उस इलेक्शन को, इस विषय में पूरी जानकारी है। और बाबा साहब ने यह भी लिखा है अपने संविधान में कि यदि कोई आयोग अपना काम ठीक से नहीं करती है तो कोर्ट भी है, आप कोर्ट की दरवाजे को भी खटखटा सकते हैं। मैं आज राहुल जी से पूछना चाहता हूं, राहुल जी, अभद्र शब्दों का तो प्रयोग आपने कर लिया, मगर विनम्रता के साथ क्या आप कोर्ट गए? डिड यू फाइल अ पिटीशन अगेंस्ट दिस? 288 कैंडिडेट्स ने शायद आपके लड़े होंगे, 288 आपके और ऑपोजिशन वालों के महाराष्ट्र में लड़े होंगे। आपको लगता है अगर अधिकांश जगह वोट की चोरी हुई, वोट्स वर डिस्ट्रॉयड, सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ लीडर यू आर? आप कैसे लीडर हैं जो आपने अपने ही पार्टी के सदस्यों को यह तक नहीं गाइड किया कि जो प्रिस्क्राइब टाइम पीरियड होता है उसके अंदर आप तुरंत कोर्ट जाइए, कोर्ट में जाकर आप वहां पर ये दस्तावेज जो हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं वो दस्तावेज दिखाइए, आप कोर्ट में केस करिए। मगर नो, राहुल गांधी डिड नॉट गो टू द कोर्ट। मुझे तो आश्चर्य हुआ, उनके जो प्रॉक्सी कोर्ट में गए थे, राहुल गांधी नहीं गए मगर प्रॉक्सी गए। जो प्रॉक्सी कोर्ट में, हाई कोर्ट में गए थे, व्हाट डिड द हाई कोर्ट से? हाई कोर्ट का जवाब है, बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट dismisses plea alleging irregularities in Maharashtra assembly polls. बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने फटकार लगाई और साथ में बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट कहती है ग्रॉस अब्यूज ऑफ द प्रोसेस ऑफ लॉ। ये जो रिट पिटीशन जिसने भी दाखिल किया है उनके खिलाफ कहती है कि ये ग्रॉस अब्यूज ऑफ लॉ है। आगे चल के बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट की जो खंडपीठ है जिसमें जस्टिस JS कुलकर्णी और जस्टिस आरिफ डॉक्टर हैं, उन्होंने बड़े स्पष्ट रूप से कहा है, द कोर्ट फाउंड नो एविडेंस ऑफ फ्रॉड और इलीगल वोटिंग एंड emphasized that the petitioner had failed to demonstrate any personal legal injury or enforceable right. We do not find a scratch of legal grievance, much less legal injury. कोई लीगल इंजुरी नहीं हुई है, कोई लीगल ग्रीवियंस नहीं हुआ है, और कोर्ट ने उसे डिसमिस कर दिया। चलिए, आप कोर्ट नहीं गए। मैं अभी आने से पहले थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च कर रहा था कि राहुल गांधी जी इलेक्शन कमीशन से तो सवाल पूछे ही होंगे। ये आज जो हार्वर्ड स्टाइल में प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे, प्रोफेसर की तरह घूम घूम कर, वो क्या है पीछे पीपीटी बना करके हार्ड वर्क कर लेते तो ये हार्वर्ड स्टाइल का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं करना पड़ता। ये जो हार्वर्ड स्टाइल का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे, तो क्या उससे पहले वो इलेक्शन कमीशन गए? मालूम पड़ा कि जो केपीसीसी है, कर्नाटका प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी है, वो गई थी अभी इलेक्शन कमीशन। 3 तारीख को गई थी इसी महीने के। इलेक्शन कमीशन ने उनको 6 तारीख को कहा कि आप 8 तारीख को आइए, हम आपको सुनेंगे। मगर 7 तारीख को ही राहुल गांधी जी वो आ नहीं गए सुनने। कल सुनना था, कल जाना था कमीशन के पास, मगर 7 तारीख को ही प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर दिया। केवल इतना ही नहीं, महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव के विषय में बात हो रही है। महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव को लेकर जब नवंबर 2024 में राहुल गांधी जी ने पहली बार आपत्ति दर्ज की, तो दिसंबर में ही इलेक्शन कमीशन ने चिट्ठी लिख के बुला लिया था कि राहुल जी आप आइए ना, यू कम एंड हैव अ डिस्कशन विद अस। वो चिट्ठी भी मैं लेकर आया हूं। मैं ये चिट्ठी इसलिए लेके आया हूं क्योंकि ये चिट्ठी पब्लिक डोमेन में है, और ये किसी और देश का इलेक्शन कमीशन नहीं है, ये हमारे देश का ही इलेक्शन कमीशन है। तो यदि पब्लिक डोमेन में वो चिट्ठी है, और उस चिट्ठी में क्या लिखता है इलेक्शन कमीशन? इन व्यू ऑफ योर आर्टिकल पब्लिश्ड इन अ न्यूज़पेपर ऑन 7/6/2025, ये हाल की बात है। कई चिट्ठियां लिखी है इलेक्शन कमीशन में, मैं एक चिट्ठी का उदाहरण दे रहा हूं। 7/6/2025 को एक बड़े अंग्रेजी अखबार में राहुल गांधी का महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव को लेकर आर्टिकल छपा था। उस आर्टिकल में वही बातें की गई थी जो बातें आज उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में की है। तो चुनाव आयोग ने कहा था कि माननीय राहुल जी, ऐसा है कि नवंबर 2024 में महाराष्ट्र का चुनाव हुआ, दिसंबर में भी आपने यही सब आरोप लगाए थे, तो हमने आपको दिसंबर में ही बुलाया था। चलिए कोई बात नहीं, आप नहीं आए। यहां पर इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कुछ डाटा दिया है, यह पब्लिक डोमेन में डाटा है। यह डाटा है कि कुल मिलाकर के 1,08,026 BLA है, बूथ लेवल एजेंट है महाराष्ट्र के अंदर सभी पार्टी के। BLA का काम क्या होता है? BLA का काम होता है कि इस घर में बहुत सारे वोटर हैं। अरे कैसे हो सकता है इस घर में इतने सारे वोटर? चलो कंप्लेंट करो BLO को, मतलब ऑफिसर को, जो बूथ लेवल ऑफिसर होता है। ये BLA पॉलिटिकल पार्टी अपॉइंट करती है, और BLO इलेक्शन कमीशन का ऑफिसर होता है। अरे इसका नाम सही नहीं है, इसके पिताजी का नाम तो गलत है, चलो कंप्लेंट करो, ठीक करवाते हैं। अरे ये तो 18 साल की नहीं है, ये तो 60 साल की है, इलेक्शन कमीशन को हम कंप्लेंट करते हैं। ये BLA का काम होता है। कितने BLA हैं महाराष्ट्र में कांग्रेस पार्टी के? 28,420, 420 नहीं, 28,420, 28,420 BLA। 28,420 BLA होने के बाद भी ये सारे BLA क्या कर रहे थे? ये सारे BLA क्या कर रहे थे? ये सोए हुए थे। ये किसके घर में किसका कितना वोटर निकला, किसकी कितनी लिस्ट है, किसका नाम क्या है, ये इन्होंने क्यों नहीं देखा? फिर इलेक्शन कमीशन लिखती है कि चलिए आप ऐसा करिए, आप बहुत बिजी व्यक्ति हैं, तो आप अपनी सहूलियत बताइए कि आप सब डॉक्यूमेंट लेके हमारे पास आइए, अपनी सहूलियत बताइए, और ये हमारा एड्रेस है, ये हमारा ईमेल आईडी है, अपना समय और स्थान दे दीजिए, वहां बैठ के चर्चा हो जाएगी, क्या आपके प्रॉब्लम है उनका हम समाधान और उत्तर दे देंगे। मगर राहुल जी ने, मुझे नहीं पता ईमेल किया कि नहीं, मगर अभी तक इलेक्शन कमीशन से समय लेकर मिलने का काम नहीं किया। आज एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, आज मैं देख रहा था इलेक्शन कमीशन का कुछ चिट्ठी भी आया है, वो भी आपने देखा है, ये आज की ही चिट्ठी है इलेक्शन का। मुझे कैसे मालूम पड़ा कि केपीसीसी ने चिट्ठी लिखी थी मिलने के लिए, और 8 तारीख का टाइम मिला था इलेक्शन कमीशन का? ये इस चिट्ठी से मालूम पड़ा, जो हर वेबसाइट में आज मौजूद है इलेक्शन कमीशन के, और आज आप लोग भी दिखा रहे हैं। इस चिट्ठी के 2 भाग हैं। दूसरे भाग में इलेक्शन कमीशन ने राहुल गांधी जी को कहा कि अच्छा, आपके पास बहुत सारी डेटा है जो आपने आज प्रस्तुत किया है, कि इतने लोगों का नाम कट गया, इतने लोगों का नाम जुड़ गया, इत्यादि इत्यादि, तो हम तैयार है जांच करने के लिए। मगर जांच का एक प्रोसीजर होता है कि ये जो सारी कागजें आप देखें, इतनी मोटी मोटी कागजें बंडल बंडल लेके घूम रहे, ये सारी जो कागजें हैं, आप ओथ में कि मैं राहुल गांधी, फलाना ढिकड़ा मेरा एड्रेस, मैं ओथ पे कहता हूं कि ये सब कागज मेरे पास है, मैं इन्हें सत्यापित करता हूं, आप इसकी जांच करिए। इसको सत्यापन करना होता है। पार्लियामेंट में भी मैं कोई भाषण दे दूं तो ऑपोजिशन अगर कह दे कि यह सांसद ठीक नहीं बोल रहे हैं, तो मुझे सत्यापित करना पड़ेगा पार्लियामेंट में। आई हैव टू प्लेस ऑन रिकॉर्ड कि जो मैं बोल रहा हूं वो सत्य बोल रहा हूं, क्योंकि हम सब अंडर ओथ हैं, तो हमको सत्यापित करना पड़ेगा। राहुल गांधी देश के लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन हैं। उन्होंने एक संवैधानिक संस्था के खिलाफ कुछ आरोप लगाए, उनका डेमोक्रेटिक राइट है, मगर जो हमारी संवैधानिक सत्यापन है, जो संविधान कहती है, वो कहती है कि रूल ऐसे है, कंप्लेंट किया है तो अंडर ओथ आप लिख के दीजिए कि ये कागज है, मैं ये डिपॉजिट कर रहा हूं, मेरे को ये कागज इस सोर्स, ठीक सोर्स है, आप इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन कीजिए। जब आप लोगों ने राहुल गांधी से पूछा कि आप ओथ में देंगे, तो राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं मेरे शब्द ही मेरे ओथ हैं, माई वर्ड्स आर माई ओथ। बहुत बड़ा बाहुबली है। माई वर्ड्स, मेरे शब्द ही मेरे शासन है। यही हम चाकर हैं, हम नौकर हैं लोगों के, और ये राजा हैं। मेरे शब्द ही मेरे शासन है। ये तो इस फिल्म में डायलॉग था ना, मेरे शब्द ही मेरे शासन है। मैं बोल दूंगा वही शासन होगा। आप गांधी परिवार के हो सकते हैं, आप गांधी जी नहीं हैं। तो नकली गांधी परिवार के लोग ये न सोचे कि उनके शब्द ही देश का शासन है। देश का शासन बाबा साहेब अंबेडकर जी द्वारा लिखे हुए संविधान में है। द वर्ड्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया इज द शासन ऑफ दिस कंट्री। संविधान की भाषा ही इस देश की मर्यादा है, इस देश का शासन है। राहुल गांधी के वर्ड शासन नहीं है। राहुल गांधी कहते हैं मेरी क्रेडिबिलिटी है। काहे चीज की क्रेडिबिलिटी है? आपके वर्ड ही आपके शासन थे। कुछ दिन पहले तो आप कह रहे थे चीन ने हमारे 2000 या 4000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर, पता नहीं, कहीं 2000 बोलते थे, कहीं 4000 बोलते थे, 2000-4000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर जमीन हड़प ली है भारत की। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ठिकाने लगा दिया। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सवाल पूछ लिया कि आर यू अ ट्रू इंडियन? आप सच्चे भारतीय हैं क्या? इस प्रकार के शब्द आप बोलेंगे? जिस देश के थाली में खाना खाते हैं उसी देश में छेद करेंगे। इनडायरेक्टली तो यही पूछा गया कि इस देश की आर्मी के ऊपर आप सवाल उठाएंगे, आर यू अ ट्रू इंडियन? और प्रियंका वाड्रा जी कहती है हु आर द जजेस? हु आर द जजेस? वो कौन है ये सब कहने वाले? वाह, मतलब दोनों भाई बहन मिलके मेरे ही शब्द मेरे शासन है। ये गांधी परिवार सोचते हैं कि हाँ, तानाशाही। बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं कि जी तानाशाही है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज भी नहीं कह सकते हैं। इलेक्शन कमीशन भी प्यार भरा पत्र लिखा है कि आइए चर्चा करेंगे। हु आर दे? कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस फेस करना पड़ेगा। क्या है ये? क्या है ये? बाहुबली है आप। ऐसा नहीं चलता है। और तो और रफाल के विषय में 3-3 बार कान पकड़ करके माफी मांगनी पड़ी थी। लगभग सुप्रीम कोर्ट में उठक बैठक की नौबत आ गई थी। लिखित रूप में एफिडेविट दे के आपको सुप्रीम कोर्ट से माफी मांगना पड़ा था कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के विषय में जो गलत टिप्पणी और झूठी टिप्पणी आपने की थी उसके लिए मैं माफी मांगता हूं। ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लिए किया था। वीर सावरकर को जिस प्रकार के शब्दों के प्रयोग से अपमानित किया, आज उसके लिए भी माफी मांगना पड़ रहा है। तो राहुल जी राफेल में कान पकड़ के उठक बैठक, वीर सावरकर के लिए कान पकड़कर उठक बैठक, चीन के लिए कान पकड़कर उठक बैठक, तो आपकी क्रेडिबिलिटी है कहां? कितनी क्रेडिबिलिटी आपकी है कि आपके शब्द ही आपके ओथ हो जाएंगे? यू डू नॉट हैव क्रेडिबिलिटी, यू लैक क्रेडिबिलिटी। योर ओथ हैज नो मीनिंग, योर वर्ड्स हैव नो मीनिंग। दैट्स द रीजन एज टू व्हाई यू हैव टू गिव एन एफिडेविट टू द इलेक्शन कमीशन। जो आपसे मांगा गया है वो देश का संविधान है। संविधान के अनुरूप लिखित रूप में दीजिए और जांच करवाइए, तभी जाके असलियत सामने आपकी आएगी। दूसरी बात, और मैं कड़े शब्दों में कहना चाहूंगा, अभी तक तो बहुत आराम से कह रहा था, राहुल गांधी जी ने कहा ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी मिटाने के लिए बहाने ढूंढ के लाती है। पुलवामा जैसा बहाना। पुलवामा बहाना था? मैं देश से पूछता हूं, आज जो राहुल गांधी जी ने कहा कि पुलवामा एक बहाना था एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को मिटाने के लिए, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर एक बहाना था एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को मिटाने के लिए, क्या अर्थ है? उसका अर्थ है भारत ने ही अटैक कराया अपने देश पे और सारी जिम्मेदारी पाकिस्तान पे मढ़ दिया, और पाकिस्तान पे अटैक करके, मतलब जो वो कहते हैं, हम तो अटैक करते नहीं, हम तो बुद्ध की देश है, हम तो अपने सिटीजन्स की रक्षा करते हैं, और पाकिस्तान के साथ इस प्रकार का प्रपंच रच के एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को मिटा दिया और वोट गेन करने की कोशिश की। यही कहना चाहते हैं आप? राहुल गांधी, इसीलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आपसे पूछा, आर यू अ ट्रू इंडियन? पुलवामा को आप अगर बहाना बोलेंगे, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को यदि आप बहाना बोलेंगे, आपने एयर स्ट्राइक और सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक पे सबूत मांगा था, देश के संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को कहेंगे कि सीरियस कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होंगी, बहुत क्षति आपकी होने वाली है, हम आपको छोड़ने वाले नहीं, तो देश की जनता वैसे भी आपको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती है, ऐसे भी आपको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगी। और अभी तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पूछा है, तो सुप्रीम मोस्ट कोर्ट, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी ऊपर है, वो है जनता जनार्दन की कोर्ट।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Mujawar has been a part of the ATS team that investigated this Malegaon case, and what he has to say today is explosive. He's breaking the silence. Mahmood Mujawar ji, thank you. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए. First of all, आपको ये फैसला आज सुन के क्या लगा? Do you think justice has finally been done in the case, Mujawar ji?
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, कहीं तो न्याय हो गया।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
Sports isn't just about medals and podiums. It is about heartbreak, challenges, and discipline. It is also about leaders choosing sport to empower the community to live longer and healthier. I congratulate my friend Arnab and R4 Sports for championing these untold stories that we all need to hear and learn from. Here's wishing R4 Sports all the best.
The Indian economy has been the fastest growing G20 economy for 8 of the last 11 years. And those are the only 8 in the last 77 years, during which India has been the largest, has been the fastest growing economy among the G20. So during the years that Rahul Gandhi's family ruled India, India's per capita income was declining relative to the rest of the world. Just listen to that. the average income of an Indian was declining relative to the average income of every human on earth. That is a remarkably bad outcome for India to have had. If you want a dead economy, it is the Nehruvian Indira.
Conversation with Republic TV. Netanyahu backs India amid the Trump's tariff war. Netanyahu reveals big Gaza plans, says Israel will intensify the war in Gaza to finish the Hamas, and Hamas will be handed over to Gaza will be handed over to a governing body. As per reports, Russian President Vladimir Putin will visit India soon. Dates yet to be announced.
और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
Prime Minister Modi sends a strong message over Trump tariff, says he's ready to pay a personal price to protect the farmers of the country. India officially pauses procurement of 6 additional Boeing P-818I maritime patrol aircraft as of August 2025. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju says NDA leaders authorized PM Modi to pick alliance's vice president candidate. Elections to be held on the 9th of September. BJP takes on Rahul Gandhi over his charges against the Election Commission, terms it an irresponsible statement, dares him to put a declaration on record. Very good evening, viewers. You're watching live in Breaking and Baksh with you. We have breaking news coming in from the valley. Anantnag police have raided bookstores following administration's ban on 25 books. The government has banned 25 books for promoting a false narrative and secessionism in Jammu and Kashmir. And Anantnag police carried out this crackdown on bookstores who are in fact selling these books. Home Department issued order declaring publication, copies and related documents of these books as forfeited to the government. An action taken under relevant legal provisions to curb anti-national propaganda. The banned books spreading misinformation, promoting separatist ideologies have been under the lens, viewers, and that's why the government and that's why these raids have been conducted. This crackdown has been carried out by Anantnag police in Jammu and Kashmir. Aravat is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Aravat, tell us more details about this move. Okay, we will try and connect with Aravat, but this is the breaking news we have right now. After ban on the books, the raids have been conducted on bookstores in Anantnag. And these are the books that were peddling secessionist, separatist ideologies, a propaganda against the country, against the nation. All anti-national propaganda. There's no space for it on the soil. And the government had banned. Goswami Singh joins us live on the broadcast. Goswami, tell us more details about the banning of these books and the raid that has been conducted. Do we also expect similar raids in other areas?
Yes, the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir yesterday via Home Department of J&K has come out with an order, and the order reads that there is going to be the raids that are going to be conducted by the Jammu and Kashmir Police because the Home Department, which is the parent department for Jammu and Kashmir Police, has issued an order in which 25 books have been banned. All these books were spreading the separatism ideology and secessionism in Jammu and Kashmir, and they were detrimental to the sovereignty and the unity of the government of India and the Union of India. After which a decision was taken by the Lieutenant Governor administration that these books needs to be banned. since the Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor holds the Home Department that is responsible for law and order, and any book or any material or literature that can be detrimental to the security of the country, that decision lies with the prerogative lies with the Lieutenant Governor. And yesterday, order that came through the Home Department of Jammu and Kashmir, they decided that these books, the 25 books, be banned in Jammu and Kashmir. And see, Anantnag being one of those districts that have been hotbed of terrorism in the past, there lies a probability that these books can actually incite people against the Union of India, and that's why Anantnag police carried out raids, and several books were also seized. Reason being that earlier they were not banned books, but now this is a banned literature, and any sale or purchase of this literature is against the law of the land.
Right. Thank you so much, Goswami Singh, for joining us with those details coming in. We have some more breaking news, and this is pertaining to the hearing on Udaipur files. The hearing has been underway in Delhi court today on Udaipur files. Senior advocate Gaurav Bhatia said that this is a movie based on a crime. We have not stated that this is an exact narration. That the positive side of the story, as the positive side has been lost of social harmony, radical elements need to be exposed. We'll get you more details from the court, viewers. We'll try and get you more updates. All right, we also have more details coming in. This is the this is about movie that can influence. Okay, so arguments against the release of the film have been made by the lawyers, and the lawyer says that this could influence the trial. They're insinuating that. The film says it's a conspirator to a murder. The movie can influence judges, witness, family. The lawyer goes on, advocate goes on to say that my contention is that fair trial is irreversibly violated with the screening of this film. So there has been a long drawn legal battle now, viewers, as far as Udaipur files is concerned. And then today, of course, the hearing is right now underway. There are arguments being made as we speak against the release of this film. The central government, however, had already cleared the movie for release, remember, rejecting the objections as well. But this is the case that is going on in the court, in the Delhi court, High Court. And hearing that is now underway. We are learning that there are also arguments being made against the release of the film, that it could in fact also influence the trial that is underway in the murder case of Kanhaiya Lal, the tailor from Udaipur, who was brutally murdered, and it was all recorded on camera. And more breaking news coming in, viewers. Well, China has now backed India's strong stand against Donald Trump's 50% tariff move. Chinese embassy says, and I quote, India's sovereignty is non-negotiable, says Beijing. It goes on to say that India's sovereignty cannot be manipulated by others. It's a big message being sent out from Asia to Donald Trump. China, imagine, viewers, China, we've had, of course, disputes with China, but we've seen the advancement in the ties, and now in the latest, China is also backing India's stand. It's put out very clearly that India's sovereignty is non-negotiable. Remember, this comes ahead of Prime Minister's visit to Beijing to China for the SCO summit as well. And then Beijing says that India's sovereignty is non-negotiable, that it cannot be manipulated by others. This is a big update, and it's a big message being sent out to Donald Trump. Nobody is listening to Trump. Nobody is ready to budge before Donald Trump. Trump should be hearing this. Trump should be reading this wherever he is. White House should be making a note of this when China says that India's sovereignty is non-negotiable. In fact, Donald Trump doesn't even have answers when asked that why there has been a duplicity in the tariffs that have been put out. Kangsha joins us live on the broadcast for more from the newsroom. Kangsha, of course, it's a big statement, a big message being sent out from China in support of India. Donald Trump needs to be watching this, that how there are countries, strong countries, powerful countries coming together, telling Donald Trump that we will not bow down.
Absolutely. In fact, this is a statement that has come in from the Chinese ambassador to India. He has said, and I quote, using tariffs as a weapon to suppress other countries, violate the UN Charter, undermines WTO rules, and is both unpopular and unsustainable. And this is the statement coming in from the Foreign Minister of China. And this is, in fact, a deja vu of sorts for China as well, because remember how Donald Trump had thrown the tariff tantrums at them as well in a similar way. And after that, he had, in fact, bowed down and there was a whole trade talk that later happened. But this statement is quite important just ahead of Prime Minister's visit to China later this month. And what we're learning is that Israel has also come in support of India as far as the US tariff threat is concerned. And now China has said that this is non-negotiable. And this is a big statement that has come from the Foreign Ministry of China, saying that using tariff as a weapon to suppress other countries violates the law. It is unpopular and unsustainable.
Trump was also asked about if China could face similar penalties, when he said, in fact, we've done it with India and we are considering it. We can't tell you yet, and one of them could be China. So that is also what Beijing has very clearly heard. And, we see that there is support coming in from India as well. Thanks so much, Akanksha, for joining us with those details. Now, viewers, let's just get you this big story that we've been tracking for you on this Trump's escalation and India roaring back. Donald Trump imposed additional tariff on India by 25%, making a total of 50%. And he issued this executive order imposing this additional 25% tariff on goods from India just days after a threat to New Delhi over its purchase of oil from Russia. Now, Indian goods are going to face up to 50% of these tariffs. Now, Trump has threatened to impose secondary sanctions as well. He says a lot of secondary sanctions will be seen in the upcoming days. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, mincing no words, has given a clear and a strong message to Washington, D.C., saying that farmers' interest is paramount, that he will protect the interest of the farmers, even if he has to personally pay a price for that. Listen in.
हमारे लिए अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
So viewers, just hours after imposing this additional 25% tariff on Indian imports, taking the total to 50%, Trump warned of more sanctions, calling them secondary sanctions that could be under consideration. Listen in.
Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
it's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional sanctions?
It's only been 8 hours. So let's see what happens over the next.
Sanctions
you're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of
You're
what's
going to
to
see a
come.
lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions.
Right, we have visuals coming in right now of a rally that is right now underway. And this is the, of course, ahead of the elections. The AIADMK is now carrying out the rally there. We'll just try and get you the location where it's coming from. And live shots coming in. We do not know who's the leader there. We'll try to tell you that. Okay, it's General Secretary Edipati Palaniswamy holding the rally. So AIADMK taking out this rally ahead of the elections. Of course, this is the visual coming in from Madurai, and there have been the campaigning has, of course, kick-started. E. Palaniswamy, or EPS, has kicked off the poll campaign today. hoping to revive AIADMK's fortunes in Tamil Nadu. And this is, of course, the update we have right now from Madurai, the AIADMK rally as per plan in Madurai. And we'll get you more details if you could just try and get our reporter also from ground zero on that. But Palaniswamy is kick-starting his election campaign for his party. And of course, it's going to be interesting. And these are visuals from the poll campaigning had begun. In fact, have been public rallies the past few weeks as well by EPS, and of course now it's picking up pace, the campaigning picking up pace in Tamil Nadu, and it's a make or break moment for the AIADMK. Of course, it has suffered in 3 successive elections. It has tasted defeat. It has suffered defeat in 3 consecutive elections, and party, of course, has been suffering. My colleague Sharda joins us live on the broadcast. Sharda, Palaniswamy there, we just see him sitting in that vehicle, kick-starting his campaign now, and it's, of course, a very, very crucial election for this regional party.
Well, the 2026 is the big elections for the state of Tamil Nadu, as it's expected to change a lot of things here. Apart from the DMK, the opposition AIADMK is putting on a strong fight with the NDA alliance, that is the BJP. And also, we could see multiple other political parties joining the AIADMK and BJP in the coming time soon. I can ask my VJ to show the visuals of the campaign that the Palaniswamy is now taking. And it is with Rajendra Balaji. And he is a strong candidate in Madurai, and last time he lost in the 500-seat variation with the DMK, but now we can see how the AIADMK is making sure that the people of Tamil Nadu accept that the DMK has been nothing but a failure government in the last 4 years, and now trying to get back into power, and we can see how the support of the people are increasing in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely. Well, this is the visual coming in from Rajpalayam in Madurai of Tamil Nadu, and of course this is very important. An important rally, a statewide campaign has been launched by Palaniswamy as he looks to dethrone MK Stalin. These are the live visuals coming in, viewers, flagging off the election yatra. Palaniswamy along with other leaders of the AIADMK. And this time around, of course, this is going to be very, very crucial for the party to, in fact, revive its fortunes, make promises, and, of course, deliver and bring in confidence in the people of Tamil Nadu as the rally gets kick-started. Sharda, tell us more about what is the plan like as far as the statewide campaigning of Palaniswamy is concerned. Do we expect the party, the alliance partners like those from the BJP also joining in soon?
Well, this is the second phase of the campaign that's happening under the AIADMK in Tamil Nadu. So the first set was in the southern state, which included the western Nilgiris, Coimbatore, and down south Tenkasi and Tirunelveli. And the second space is now the Madurai, where Madurai is becoming a strong space for the AIADMK and BJP to tap into, because that is the special part of Tamil Nadu which had been constantly opposing the DMK government in the state. And we can see how where now they have been calling the Palaniswamy the future chief minister, and this fresh rally, which is the second phase right now, shows how strong the AIADMK is. Though there is 8 months still left for the elections, the fire among the people when they see the AIADMK leader is huge, especially when it is here in Madurai. Erode being his hometown, Palaniswamy has tried to make sure that even the center of the state of Tamil Nadu, which is Madurai, Rajapalayam, Srivilliputturu and the other places.
Right, right, Radha, thank you so much for joining us with that live input coming in from Tamil Nadu. Viewers, we shift our focus to the other stories. Now, viewers, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in India Benjamin Netanyahu has been speaking to Republic TV, and he has spoken on the India-US trade war as well. There's a basic understanding, he says, I just quote him, there's a basic understanding in Washington DC that India is a solid partner. India stands out in Asia. India and US are two terrific friends with so much common ground. Okay, Netanyahu is saying basically that India and US will find a solution. Netanyahu, speaking to Republic TV's Abhishek Kapoor, has said that India and US will find a solution. We in fact have Abhishek Kapoor joining us from Israel right now. Abhishek, thank you for joining us. And this is, of course, a big statement coming in. Tell us more. What did the Israeli Prime Minister tell Republic?
Well, you see, so we were part of a delegation that met Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his office in Jerusalem just an hour and a half back. And it was a freewheeling conversation which lasted for about 45 minutes. Prime Minister giving that much time is actually, it underscores the kind of importance his government and he personally gives to Israel's relationship with India. My own takeaways coming out of that conversation were first about India-Israel. It's a relationship which is getting stronger by the day. Prime Minister Netanyahu a couple of times complimented Prime Minister Modi for taking it to the next level. In fact, pulling it out of a freeze that was there earlier during the Congress governments. And then he said that the only direction in future for India-Israel partnership is up, up and up. And I'm actually quoting him verbatim. He very openly spoke about India's defense relationship with Israel. And he said that some of our platforms, their platforms, that is, have been used and proved successful during the ongoing Operation Sindoor post the Pahalgam terror attack. He was very unequivocal in his words, choosing to call it a murder, the killing of Pahalgam tourists in Jammu and Kashmir. And then, of course, he said that there is more that needs to be done or can be done between India and Israel in terms of strengthening India's border surveillance and monitoring. So those were my key takeaways insofar as his views on India-Israel relationship is concerned. Another second most important takeaway, of course, was that he said that Israel is going to increase its military operations in the Gaza Strip. So the war against Hamas is going to see increased intensity going forward. We don't know for how long it will go. He said that we would want to make it a short and quick one to decimate Hamas completely. If Hamas wants, they can surrender all arms tomorrow and the war can end tomorrow. But then peace cannot be on Hamas's terms. Peace would be from a position of strength on Israeli terms. And that's why, having done with the Iran war, now Prime Minister Netanyahu is now completely focusing on finishing Hamas in Gaza. And then, of course, my final takeaway was that he very fondly hoped that this ongoing turbulence between India and the United States because of the tariff war of President Trump finds an amicable solution. He said that both are great democracies, both are great, he said, terrific partnerships, and Washington, D.C. sees India as a standout nation in Asia, and so both should be sitting together and sorting it out. He said when asked if he had any role or a possible role in bringing calm in this ongoing turbulence, he said that if he had a role, he would keep it private, which means he did not rule out. He said that which means he suggested that if need be, he can work the phones. He more than a couple of times mentioned about his strong friendship with Prime Minister Modi. He fondly recalled PM Modi's visit to Israel and then, of course, his own visit to 2017. He also said that very soon he would want to come back to India. And I think on that note, I can say that Prime Minister Netanyahu showed a lot of clarity on most of the issues. He even said that in the larger Middle East, while the rest of the world, specifically Europe, and he did not have much of kind words for Europe, he said that it seems like most of the moderate Muslims live in the Middle East and the radical ones live in Europe. And he said that we are doing fine. We are in security-wise, national security-wise, Israel is much stronger post the Hamas war, even if diplomatically perhaps it is going through a period of isolation.
In fact, Abhishek, I request you to please stay on with us because there's another breaking news that we have on the Gaza Strip. This is about the Israeli government sources also revealing that Gaza is said to be handed over to a governing body that is neither the Hamas nor the Palestinian Authority. Now, Abhishek, what does this really mean? Is Israel trying full occupation of the Gaza Strip? What is the plan in store?
Well, yes. So, as I was mentioning, Rakshita, during the closing of the last segment we had, which is that Israel is under tremendous diplomatic pressure globally to end this war. And in the face of this kind of pressure for Netanyahu to say, no, in fact, I'm going to double down on my war on Hamas and intensify it further, then he has to have a ramp off, as the Americans would say. So his ramp off is, I can finish it off quickly, but provided Hamas demilitarizes. If they're not doing it on their own, we will go in, because we are done with all other wars, the seven-front war that they have had over the last year and a half with Hezbollah, with Houthis, with Iran, with the Syrian militias, and of course with the Hamas in Gaza. He said, we are going to double down on military operations. The war is going to intensify, and once it ends, with the complete decimation of Hamas, we want a government there, a good government there, but not of Hamas and not of Palestine Authority. The world community can come together and decide and give a good governance structure to the people of Gaza Strip, and Israel would be absolutely okay with that. So in a way, he was sort of assuaging the concerns that even as he is doubling down, he has no intention whatsoever to annex the Gaza Strip into Israel. The people of Gaza can live there, have their government, minus Hamas.
Right. Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us with those details coming in from Jerusalem. That was Abhishek Kapoor, Senior Executive Editor, reporting from Jerusalem. We shift our focus to the story, but before that, it's time to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll tell you about how Vladimir Putin is all set to visit India soon. Dates, of course, will be confirmed in a short while, in a few days, but Ajit Doval is confirming President Putin's visit to India. Also, India roars back at Trump's tariff threat, says that India is ready to take the tariffs, even if it is compromising on his aim personally. He says, Prime Minister says that farmers come first.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Mujawar has been a part of the ATS team that investigated this Malegaon case, and what he has to say today is explosive. He's breaking the silence. Mahmood Mujawar ji, thank you. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए. First of all, आपको ये फैसला आज सुन के क्या लगा? Do you think justice has finally been done in the case, Mujawar ji?
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर. कहीं तो न्याय हो गया. और ये न्याय मिलाने के लिए जो आपने जद्दोजहद की, जो आपने कोशिश की, वो सही में काम आई सर. खास करके मैं निरंजन स्वामी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, जिन्होंने मेरा कोई तुम्हारे चैनल से कोई संबंध नहीं था, मगर मेरे को ढूंढ के निकाल के आपने अपने स्टूडियो में बुलाया था और बुला के मेरे को पूछ के सही तरीके से मेरा इंटरव्यू लिया था सर. उसका काम हो गया और अच्छा काम हुआ उसके अंदर सही तरीके से.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने.
Sports isn't just about medals and podiums. It is about heartbreak, challenges, and discipline. It is also about leaders choosing sport to empower the community to live longer and healthier. I congratulate my friend Arnab and R4 Sports for championing these untold stories that we all need to hear and learn from. Here's wishing R4 Sports all the best.
The Indian economy has been the fastest growing G20 economy for 8 of the last 11 years. And those are the only 8 in the last 77 years during which India has been the largest, has been the fastest growing economy among the G20. So,
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Akanksha Khajuria, and this evening we are keeping our focus on the US-India tariff war that is currently going on and how Prime Minister Modi has drawn a red line saying we will not compromise. And up next, in a big boost to India-Russia ties, Russian President is all set to visit India. The date has to be decided, but this holds a lot of importance, especially in the backdrop of this tariff war between India and the United States. And then we'll tell you about the opposition party's attempt to corner the government over tariffs today in the parliament. We'll get to those reactions, and then to the state of Punjab, where Honey Singh and Karan Aujla, they have been summoned for using derogatory words in their songs. And then Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission, that has escalated with a new charge that has come from him regarding the vote theft. And lastly, rescue operation is currently underway in Uttarakhand, where remember a few days back there was a flood. There was in fact a tragedy that unfolded there, and the army is racing against time to restore connectivity to that very area. These are the top 6 stories that we're tracking for you at 6 o'clock this evening. Let's get started. Well, starting with the tariff war that is currently going on, US President Donald Trump has announced an extra 25% tariff on India as penalty for the continued import of Russian crude oil. But India has refused to buckle under this pressure. Minutes later, first strong worded statement that came in from the Ministry of External Affairs, calling this unfair, unjustified and completely unreasonable. And then Prime Minister Modi today stressed that India will never compromise with the interest of the farmers and the fishermen. A big message to the United States that he has given. The Prime Minister, in fact, has said that while he knows that he will have to pay the price personally, he was ready to do it for the farmers of the country. So a farmer-first message that the Prime Minister has given, and this comes at a time when Donald Trump has hinted at the imposition of secondary sanction after this 50% as well. Firstly, listening to what the Prime Minister said today.
हमारे लिए अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
He tried to do this with China and also Brazil. Now he's doing this with India. Let's tell you about how India is facing the highest tariff till now. India right now is facing 50% of the tariffs, followed by Brazil, similar percentage, 50%. Myanmar at 40%, Switzerland at 39%, and Thailand at 36%. And then comes China after this as well. Now let's tell you, because many people want to know how will this impact the people of India. And regarding that, let's pull up the next graphic that we have for you. How this will impact India. There will be impact on textile. There will be impact on gems, jewelry. Let's move on the leather, footwear, animal products as far as India is concerned. Chemical, electronic and mechanical machinery will be affected, and these industries will be impacted. But what will be exempted is very important. We are learning that pharma, oil, gas and electronics will be exempted as far as the 50% tariff is concerned, but there is going to be some sort of impact on several stuff as well. Let me go across to Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Strategic Affairs expert, joining us live. Thanks so much for speaking to Republic TV. As I was mentioning, Donald Trump tried to do this with China, with Brazil as well. Now he's doing this with India. Do you believe India will succumb to this arm twisting that Donald Trump is currently doing?
No. So far, it's only the small countries that have succumbed to it. Lula, the president of Brazil, is furious. China hasn't succumbed to it. The Swiss went home. In fact, the Swiss president actually tried to suck up to Trump. He was in DC till this morning, and he left without any agreement on the 39% tariff that has been imposed on Switzerland. We have to understand, India today is not the India of the 1970s that was, begging for food and arms and things like that. You can't just cover us down like that, and we are not going to bend. I think today the speech by the Prime Minister made it very clear that we're not going to bend. That said, I think it's very important to understand that the impact on us is also limited. It is to textiles, gems and jewelry and things like that. Now, who in America buys Indian gems and jewelry? It's mostly the Indian expatriate market and the multinationals buying it. Remember, India is the biggest processor of diamond smalls. We account for almost 60% of the market. Best of luck trying to replace that bulk with somebody else. You're not going to get it because, people don't just learn to cut diamonds overnight. Diamond cutting is a great skill that takes years to train people and so on and so forth. All this is going to do is add to inflationary pressure on textiles and gems and jewelry in America. And in a sense, we need to understand that is exactly what Trump wants. He's making a fool of his own people because on one hand, his big, beautiful bill did not deliver a zero deficit budget. It's actually an extremely high deficit budget. He then gave tax cuts to his voter base. Now he's taking back all the tax cuts by increasing all the prices, which also means the enormous debt that America is under becomes much cheaper to service.
Absolutely. In fact, Abhijit Iyer, stay on with us. Let's get our viewers more details about this tariff war that is going on amid growing tensions between US and India over the Russian oil imports. National Security Advisor arrived in Moscow for the visit to strengthen the ties between India and Russia, and he met with the top officials there. And remember how India has called out Russia's double-speak. In fact, US's double-speak over Russian imports. They themselves import palladium, uranium, fertilizer from Russia. But when it comes to India, and they are questioning us over the crude oil. Now, New Delhi has taken a firm stand. They have said that there will be no selective targeting, no hypocrisy, and it will not be accepted. Firstly, listen into what the National Security Advisor said in Russia today.
You have very rightly mentioned, Excellency, that we have got a very special relationship, a long relationship, and we highly value our strategic partnership. We have had high-level engagements, and these high-level engagements have contributed very substantially. We are very excited and delighted to learn about the visit of His Excellency, the President of Russia, President Putin, to India. I think that the dates are almost finalized now. The more important thing is this, that is, these summit meetings have always been the watershed points.
Well, coming back to you once again, Abhijit Iyer, as far as the visit of NSA is concerned, this is very important because, as I was mentioning, when it comes to United States purchasing a lot of stuff from Russia, it's okay. But when it comes to India, then they have a problem and they will be imposing 25% tariff. How do you look at this visit of the National Security Advisor to Russia and the upcoming visit of Putin to India as well?
This is the NSA's visit. It was actually meant to happen last month. It got postponed. It is happening this month. But what we have done is apparently we have brought forward the visit of President Putin to, I believe, next month.
Yes.
Number one. So that is a significant signaling. The second is, of course, the Prime Minister going to Tianjin for the SCO summit. That will be another major signal that's being sent. May I just point out, however, the sheer hypocrisy that even in these tariffs imposed on India, if India imports Russian oil, processes it and sells it to America, that sale of Russian oil becomes exempt from these same tariffs.
Right.
So, absolutely ludicrous on how this whole process has been imposed on India. That said, there is limited impact, but we need to understand there will be some pain in the short term.
Absolutely. Now, this tariff war seems to be escalated. Thanks so much, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, for speaking to Republic TV. Now, shifting our focus, Russian President Putin is all set to visit India later this month. The time has not been decided, but this visit comes amid the heightened tensions between India and US over India's trade relationship with Russia. And remember, US imposed an additional 25% tariff on imports from India over continued purchase of the Russian oil. And in that backdrop, and the war that is going on over tariff as far as India and US is concerned, now Russian president will be visiting India, and that will be very, very important. Let me go across to Dr. Sergey, who's the president of IDC Amicability. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. How do you look at this visit of Russian president to India? Because this definitely comes in the backdrop of the trade war that is going on between India and United States, and the trade war and the focus is definitely on the purchase of oil from Russia. How do you see this visit?
Thank you so much. Good evening. Namaste, namaskar. First of all, I would like to start that our national leader, Vladimir Putin, already 25 years, he's a leader of our nation, and he lead our nation with such kind of deep responsibility. And he is visionary and believer. That is a similarity between our nation leaders. Shri Narendra Modi also, he is a spiritual visionary. He is very much influence, not only political, but also spiritual leader. And right now we can see that a visit of our national leader, Vladimir Putin, to India, to Bharatavarsha, Asian civilization, it's again special historical visit, because, as you know, 2007, our national leader started with his historical speech in Munich, multipolar world. And right now, these words, multipolar world, use everybody, even General Secretary of United Nations use his speech. We can see that vision and mission of our national leader mixed together with the vision and mission of Shri Narendra Modi can completely change modern global policy and bring us to the very much needable ethics activity of politicians. Because we can see that it was a so big expectation from Donald Trump when before his presidentship, when he was elected, everybody thinks that it will start East-West dialogue. But unfortunately, right now we can see that his behavior, looks like a gamer, not like a real prominent politician.
Absolutely.
Because, but politics is not a game. That's why responsibility is very much needable, and historical visit of our national leader can give to us a big hope that eastern part of the world, such kind of countries like Brazil, mainly BRICS countries, because next year it will be chairmanship of India in BRICS. We should not forget it also. And that's why India have a big leading role next year like a chairman of BRICS. And we can see that this visit, it's like we are in the middle of the economic war right now, because Donald Trump this is not like completely as a proxy war, but it's a kind of economic war. His words, his action, his announcement, it looks like starting of the conflict with eastern part of the world. But I can ask very important question: who is a friend of America right now? Because America losing all his friends. Even America right now is a conflict with Europe. And that's why we can see that visit of Vladimir Putin to Bharat, to India, can give big lessons and big teachings to Donald Trump. I completely believe that he will transform his behavior. He'll transform his position. Even he needs some prominent and Indian advisors. Because, yes, I completely agree that he forgot that America import palladium and uranium and fertilizer from Russia. How he can teach Sri Narendra Modi regarding other products if he himself doing something with Russia? That's why I am completely believe that it will be like a dialogue and new positive news we can expect after visit of our national leader to Delhi.
Absolutely. It is going to be a historic visit, as you also pointed out. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. All eyes will be on that crucial visit of the Russian president. Now, let's just tell you more about the tariff war that is going on, how opposition parties have reacted to this. They have criticized Prime Minister over the imposition of tariff by Donald Trump. Congress, however, remains divided. There are a few leaders who have spoken in favor of the government, and there are a few who have spoken against. So clearly a big division when it comes to the Congress party. Listen in to few reactions that have come in from the parliament today.
देश सरकार के साथ खड़ा है, पूरा विपक्ष सरकार के साथ खड़ा है। हम किसी भी राजनीतिक दबाव में या इंटरनेशनली दबाव में नहीं आएंगे। हम लोगों का भी सरकार को यही कहना है कि आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। अमेरिका के दबाव में पूरा देश नहीं आएगा। हम उन डरने वाले देश में नहीं है। निश्चित तौर से जिस तरह की धमकी के साथ वह अपने आप से व्यापार करवाना चाहता है और दूसरे देशों से नहीं करवाने वाला जो धमकी भरा स्टेटमेंट है, बिल्कुल भी हमारी सरकार को दरकिनार करना चाहिए।
वो 100% भी लगा सकते हैं। कल जब आपकी तरफ से कोई जवाब ही नहीं जा रहा है तो 100% लगाते रहे। और ट्रम्प के टैक्स लगाने से क्या फर्क पड़ना है? ट्रम्प को तो जो लगाना है वो लगाएंगे। हम लोगों को जवाब तो देना चाहिए। क्या ट्रम्प के भरोसे हम रोटी खा रहे हैं? अगर ट्रम्प के भरोसे दुनिया रोटी खा रही होती तो ईरान तो भूखा मर गया होता। ईरान ने अपने आप को साबित करके दिखाया। और हमारी इतनी बड़ी आबादी है, इसको कोई इग्नोर नहीं कर सकता। हम लोगों को अपनी नीतियों के अंदर आमूलचूल परिवर्तन करने पड़ेंगे। और देश एक सशक्त प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में चाहता है कि मोदी जी जवाब देने का काम करें। मोदी जी ट्रम्प को उसकी भाषा में ही जवाब देने का काम करें। क्यों नहीं जवाब दे पा रहे मोदी साहब? हमारी जो उत्पादन आधारित अर्थव्यवस्था है उसको बनाना पड़ेगा। अभी जो हम लोग उपभोक्ता आधारित अर्थव्यवस्था है, इसलिए हमको धमकाने का काम किया जा रहा है। हमें उत्पादन आधारित अर्थव्यवस्था बनानी पड़ेगी। अपने क्षेत्र जहां हम पैसा कमा सकते हैं, छोटे छोटे, जैसे यूएई है, पर्यटन से पैसा कमा रहा है। हम तो कोई काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। उनका पर्यटन देखिए कहाँ चला गया, छोटा सा मुल्क। धार्मिक पर्यटन से सऊदी अरब कितना पैसा कमाता है।
Well, now shifting our focus to the state of Punjab, the Punjab State Commission has launched an inquiry into Punjabi music artist Karan Aujla and Yo-Yo Honey Singh for allegedly using derogatory language against women in their song. Now, taking suo motu cognizance of this matter, the Commission has now written to the DGP of Punjab, seeking that there should be an immediate action that should be taken against them. And both the artists have been summoned to appear before the Women's Commission on Monday, that is August 11th, is what we're learning. And the Commission has also raised apprehension over MF Gabru, and this is the name of the song of Karan Aujla, and Millionaire song of Honey Singh. The Commission has said that the lyrics in both the songs, it violates the dignity of women and propagate a disrespectful image of them in popular culture. Now, Gill has requested the police to investigate the matter and submit a detailed report. So this is as far as the action on Yo-Yo Honey Singh and Karan Aujla is concerned. Let me go across to my colleague Lalit, who joins us live on the broadcast with more details. Lalit, tell us more about the letter that Women's Commission has written to the DGP of the police, because this is not just regarding the summoning. They also want investigation in this matter over the two songs that have now come to the fore. Give us more details on this.
The Punjab Women Commission have taken a suo motu and cognizance as the songs of two singers. One is Yo-Yo Honey Singh and the other one is Karan Aujla, in which the dignity of the women has been questioned. So the objectionable words have been put in the song, regarding which now the Punjab Women Commission have taken a suo motu and cognizance, in which it has been clearly stated, and a letter has been written to the Punjab DGP that till 11th August 11 AM a detailed report regarding this should be submitted in the Punjab Women Commission office. Apart from that, it has also been asked to both the singers as a summon notice has been sent to them to appear before the Women Commission of Punjab. So the objectionable words have been used in the song which are going viral in the YouTube these days, and due to which now this question has been raised and women's dignity has been put on stake, and objectionable words are being used against the women. So these are the objections which have been raised by the Punjab Women Commission, due to which the cognizance and suo motu has been taken. Back to the studio.
Absolutely, all eyes will be on this day, that is August 11th, when Honey Singh and Karan Aujla will appear before the Women Commission. Remains to be seen whether they do that or not. Now, shifting our focus, after Congress MP Rahul Gandhi claimed to have exposed the vote theft in fact, Mahadevpur constituency in Karnataka, Election Commission now has hit back. Election Commission, through Karnataka CEO, that is the election office there, has asked for Gandhi for details as far as the irregularities that he pointed out in the press conference today, and a warning that providing the fake evidence is punishable under BNS. So this is a strict warning that has been given by the Election Commission of India to Rahul Gandhi. But now war has also started over this. Bharatiya Janata Party has reacted very strongly to the statement that has come in from Rahul Gandhi. Listen in.
आज श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी ने फिर से इलेक्शन कमीशन को प्रहार किया है और एक एनजीओ ने बनाया हुआ कुछ प्रेजेंटेशन को फिर से दोहराया है। वही पुराना बात को फिर से वो दोहरा रहे हैं। मकसद इलेक्शन कमीशन को अटैक करना था। कल कांग्रेस पार्टी ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट को अटैक किया और सुप्रीम कोर्ट को क्वेश्चन किया। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऊपर में सवाल उठाया कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट तय नहीं कर सकता है कि कौन भारतीय है और कौन भारतीय कैसे बोलना चाहिए। अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट को नहीं मानते हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी, इलेक्शन कमीशन को नहीं मानते हैं, तो फिर क्या चीज़ को मानते हैं? आज जो राहुल गांधी ने कर्नाटका का एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी को उठा करके जो बात रखा है, वो कर्नाटका के जो नेता है, वहाँ के जितना भी सीनियर लीडर है, सबका कहना है कि इतना बकवास बातें आज तक किसी सीनियर लीडर ने प्रेस में बात नहीं किया है। कोई तथ्य नहीं, कहाँ से उठा करके बिना मतलब से प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके रख देते हैं। हमको मालूम है वो नकली प्रेजेंटेशन किसने बनाया है, लेकिन मैं इस छोटे छोटे हर मुद्दे पे अभी नहीं जाऊंगा। मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन, चुनाव आयोग, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, इनको बार बार अटैक करना, प्रहार करना ये सही नहीं है। मैं मानता हूं कि अगर आप इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया को अटैक करता है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट या जुडिशरी को अटैक करता है, तो आप सीधा सीधा लोकतंत्र को ही हमला कर रहा है।
पहली बात है कि राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने आज तक उन राज्यों में कोई भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं किया जिन राज्यों में उनको जीत मिली है। ये जो मीठा मीठा गपगप और कड़वा कड़वा थू थू, यह जो सिलेक्टिविटी है कि हम सिलेक्टिव आउटरीच दिखाएंगे, यह भी भारत की जनता देख रही है। आप हिमाचल में जीतते हैं तो उस समय तो नहीं कहते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने अच्छा काम किया, उस समय तो आप नहीं कहते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कहीं ना कहीं फर्जीवाड़ा किया। जब आपको 99 सीट मिलती है लोकसभा के चुनाव में, तो आप पूरे देश में सेलिब्रेट करते हैं और कहते हैं देखो हमारी जीत हो गई। कैसे? यदि देश का लोकतंत्र हार गया
Now shifting our focus to the state of Uttarakhand, Indian Army has intensified the relief operation in the cloudburst hit the Rali region of Uttarakhand. The area remains cut off due to the landslides and road breaches is what we're learning. Over 225 troops including engineers and medics are on the ground right now. Mi-17 helicopters are on standby. Evacuation are currently underway is what we're learning. 70 civilians have been rescued so far from that area, but dozens are still missing. The army is racing against time to restore connectivity and save lives. This is as far as the Uttar Kashi cloudburst is concerned, and army is on a rescue mission as you can see on your screens. This is all we could pack for you in this bulletin of 6 stories. At 6, we'll be back tomorrow with more such stories. Till then, keep watching Republic TV.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। प्योर मसाला। Sarah, this is your space. Play it your way. आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Mujawar has been a part of the ATS team that investigated this Malegaon case, and what he has to say today is explosive. He's breaking the silence. Mahmood Mujawar ji, thank you. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए. First of all, आपको ये फैसला आज सुन के क्या लगा? Do you think justice has finally been done in the case, Mujawar ji?
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, कहीं तो न्याय हो गया। और ये न्याय मिलाने के लिए जो आपने जद्दोजहद की, जो आपने कोशिश की, वो सही में काम आई सर। खास करके मैं निरंजन स्वामी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, जिन्होंने मेरा कोई तुम्हारे चैनल से कोई संबंध नहीं था, मगर मेरे को ढूंढ के निकाल के
Amity is proud to announce the commencement of its 12th university in India, Amity University, Hyderabad. At the prime location of AeroCity Hyderabad Airport, has a strong focus on high-end research with brilliant students and distinguished faculty who share our mission to change the world together. To apply for this year's session, visit amity.edu/Hyderabad.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Republic TV and R4 Sports, they are trying to do something big in sports. They are dreaming something big. They are trying to take out all the untold stories from the athletes, from the academies, and from other sports stakeholders. And I guess this should be there in the national stage. The R4 Sports and Republic TV. Good luck.
एमडीएच की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला एमडीएच मसाला।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
The Indian economy has been the fastest growing G20 economy for 8 of the last 11 years. And those are the only 8 in the last 77 years, during which India has been the largest, has been the fastest growing economy among the G20. So during the years that Rahul Gandhi's family ruled India, India's per capita income was declining relative to the rest of the world. Just listen to that. The average income of an Indian was declining relative to the average income of every human on earth. That is a remarkably bad outcome for India to have had. If you want a dead economy, it is the Nehruvian Indira.
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV this evening, getting you breaking news updates as we speak. There are key meetings underway in the national capital following what the US President Donald Trump did last evening by imposing additional 25% tariff. That and more coming up in the next few minutes. Here are the headlines on Republic this Thursday evening. In an exclusive conversation with Republic TV, Benjamin Netanyahu backs India amid the Trump tariff war. Abhishek Kapoor speaking to Netanyahu in Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu reveals the big Gaza plan, says Israel will intensify its war in Gaza to finish Hamas. Says it will be handed over to a governing body. Reports suggest Russian President Vladimir Putin will be in India. Dates yet to be announced. Some reports saying it could be as early as end August.
और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
Prime Minister Modi sends a strong message following Donald Trump's tariff announcement. Says India is ready, says he is ready to pay a personal price if required. India has officially paused procurement of 6 additional Boeing P-8I maritime patrol aircraft as of this month. Poseidon on pause.
Filing of nomination for the election of the Vice President of India will be till 21st August. The polling will be held on 9 September and counting will be held on same day evening.
Union Minister Kiren Rijiju says NDA leaders have authorized Prime Minister Modi to pick the alliance Vice President candidate. Elections on the 9th of September.
यदि देश का लोकतंत्र हार गया, यदि देश का चुनाव आयोग ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड है आपके कहने के मुताबिक, तो आप सेलिब्रेट किस बात का कर रहे हो कि हम जीत गए हैं?
BJP takes on Rahul Gandhi over his charge against the Election Commission, terms it irresponsible. Getting in breaking news now, there's a meeting underway in the national capital where Union Minister Piyush Goyal is meeting Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The meeting is currently underway between two leaders, coming on the back of Donald Trump's tariff announcement. Piyush Goyal has been personally monitoring the negotiations into the India-US tariff talks. Now, he's been monitoring it. Negotiators have done at least 6 to 7 rounds of travel between India and America in the last few months and years to ensure that we reach a deal. But given what has happened in the last few hours, India is weighing its options. The Prime Minister earlier today said that he is ready to pay a personal price if required. The Prime Minister sent a strong message this morning saying that he will not let down India's farmers. And on the back of the announcement that was made by the US President Donald Trump and the Prime Minister's message, key meetings underway in the national capital. Chandrakala, my colleague, is joining us on the phone line for more details. Chandrakala, is there an agenda set for this meeting?
Well, the point is, a very crucial meeting is currently taking place. Crucial meeting is currently taking place. The Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is meeting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. There could be a lot of issues on agenda right now, because it's coming at a very, very crucial time. Because as far as the tariffs threat are concerned, a very, very crucial meeting underway. We have seen that there are a lot of meetings are currently underway. To and fro, of course, the NSA is in Moscow. The Russian president would be visiting India. And yes, now Piyush Goyal, the Union Commerce Ministry, is currently meeting Union Home Minister. There are a lot of issues might be on the agenda. Of course, tariff is one such issues that would be discussed, and more details are awaited as far as the outcome of this meeting is concerned. Over to you.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those inputs. Getting in some more breaking news now. Let's go across straight to the next bit of update that we received of the process that is underway to elect the next Vice President of India. The Election Commission notification is in, along with the dates, rules, processes, and each side is preparing their game plan. All right, getting in details now, the NDA has passed a resolution leaving the decision to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and JP Nadda, the BJP president. The name of the vice presidential candidate will be announced on the 12th of August. This is the breaking news update that's come in. 12th of August, the NDA candidates' details are likely to be made public. And August 21st, which is a Thursday, is the last date of nominations. 2 weeks from now, the polling for the vice presidential candidates is scheduled for the 9th of September. Election Commission has issued a notification for the 9th of September to the office of the vice president. The elections will be held with crucial dates now out, kick-starting the nomination process. The NDA already making its plan clear that it is up to the Prime Minister and JP Nadda to choose the candidate. Getting in more breaking news updates now. Rahul Gandhi will be staging a protest tomorrow against Karnataka Election Commission. This comes after the poll body hit out at Rahul Gandhi over his claims and demanded a declaration. He will be leading the Vote Adhikar Yatra in Bengaluru's Freedom Park tomorrow. It's another claim that has been made by Rahul Gandhi, and we are getting in details of him leading this protest. This will be against the Election Commission. The rally itself will be in Bengaluru, and this comes after the Election Commission, that is the Karnataka Election Commission, countered Rahul Gandhi's claims, demanded a declaration, saying failing which they could even take action if required against Rahul Gandhi. He will be leading the Vote Adhikar Yatra in Bengaluru's Freedom Park tomorrow. This is the big breaking news update that's come in. Abhishek is joining us live. Abhishek, can you take us through what the Karnataka Election Commission has said in its response to Rahul Gandhi's claims? Specifically to Rahul Gandhi's claims, this evening we had a statement. If you can take us through that.
The Election Commission has written a letter to Rahul Gandhi to prove all the allegations that he had made against the Election Commission. And they've also sent a format in which Rahul Gandhi is supposed to do a signature itself. And also, they're demanding the proof of people who are indiscriminately deleted from the voter list is what we have seen as of now. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi, along with the KPCC, are protesting, staging a protest against the Union government and the Election Commission of India and the state in Freedom Park tomorrow. So the Election Commission on the preset of the protest which will be happening tomorrow at the Freedom Park have very clearly mentioned that Rahul Gandhi openly made a claim against the Election Commission, which is far from truth, and that is the reason as to why they've sent a letter to him, and also they have indeed asked for the proof for the allegations that he had made against them as of now. Niranjan.
Yeah. Now, specifically talking about the claims made by Rahul Gandhi, and he's spoken about over 1 lakh bogus votes. What are these allegations? Which constituency? If you can take us through the specifics of the claims that were made.
Well, with respect to the allegations that had been made by Rahul Gandhi, it was also endorsed by DCM DK Shivkumar, mentioning the constituency where Dr. C.N. Manjunath has become an MP from as of now. On the other hand, we've also seen Mahadevapura constituency at one point. So there are various other primary constituencies where Rahul Gandhi and DCM DK Shivkumar has claimed not only in Lok Sabha elections but also in the state elections or the Vidhana Sabha elections, the Election Commission has been taken into consideration to manipulate the votes as of now, and we will also have to see what Rahul Gandhi targets on as of tomorrow. The entire KPCC leaders, along with the cabinet of ministers, are expected to attend this Freedom Park's protest against the Election Commission. We will also have to see which state and which constituencies these leaders from Congress are targeting as of now. Niranjan.
Thank you for joining us with those details. Let's move on and get you some more breaking news updates right now. That's the big news that Rahul Gandhi will be protesting tomorrow. He's been countered already by the Election Commission. Let's move on now. BJP National President JP Nadda condemned the attack on West Bengal leader of opposition Shuvendu Adhikari. The attack that took place on his convoy in Cooch Behar by Trinamool Congress goons. Allegedly, now he said that the brazen assault took place in the presence of the state police. A telling reflection of the complete breakdown of law and order under Mamata Banerjee's government. Nadda adding that this wasn't just an attack on an elected representative, it was an attack on democracy itself. Nadda, the BJP president, also spoke to Shuvendu Adhikari, taking stock of the situation in Bengal, adding that if the leader of opposition in West Bengal isn't safe in the state, one can only imagine the plight of the common man. Getting in some more breaking news now. Chinese spokesperson hitting out at the Western media narrative calling for deepening trust with India. Chinese spokesperson saying on Twitter that Western media creating a narrative of whom will replace whom between China and India, which has little substantive value. In today's complex landscape, it makes far more sense for both nations to deepen trust, manage disagreements, foster consensus, widen cooperation and promote peace in Asia globally. A bit of an irony, the fact that it's coming in from China, the same country which also, by the way, backed Pakistan in Operation Sindoor. Backed Pakistan, gave away our key details of air defense to Pakistan in its fight against India, in its war against India. And even our top generals have gone on record to say that we weren't just fighting Pakistan. We were also fighting China. A bit rich for China to say this, but yes, nonetheless, Beijing, for now, targeting the West as India, along with China, faces high tariffs. In fact, there have been a series of statements made by the Chinese side in the last few hours. Let's take you through some of those statements. The Chinese embassy spokespersons earlier also said in India, the Chinese embassy that is saying that the Chinese embassy and the Chinese people back India's strong stand against Trump's 50% tariff move. adding that India's sovereignty is non-negotiable and that it can't be manipulated by others. A bit rich once again, because China should be the last one talking about India's sovereignty, given its attempts, its expansionist tendencies, and what it did in Operation Sindoor, during Operation Sindoor, backing Pakistan, giving key details of Indian locations to Pakistan, tactical support to Pakistan. The Chinese spokesperson in this particular post, hitting out at Western media narrative, calling for deepening trust with India. Chinese spokespersons on Twitter saying Western media created or is creating a narrative of who will replace whom between China and India, which has little substantive value, and that in today's complex landscape, it makes far more sense for both nations to deepen trust, manage disagreements, foster consensus, widen cooperation, promote peace in Asia and globally. Irony of ironies, as China also gets into the mix. Of course, India stand is clear that we don't need anybody's help. We don't need anybody's support. We are on our own and can fight this on our own. Like the Prime Minister said, he's ready to pay a personal price if required. Kritat is joining us. Kritat, so ironic, isn't it? China saying that India's sovereignty should be respected.
Indeed, Niranjan, and these are repeated statements coming in from the official spokesperson at the embassy here in New Delhi. And these are very surprising statements indeed, repeatedly also being made just hours after it was confirmed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to visit Tianjin for the Shanghai Cooperative Organization Leaders Summit. Now, it is also a very controversial summit because we saw earlier this year in the month of June when Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had went there, he had not even signed a joint declaration. Subsequently, EM Jaishankar had also visited for the foreign ministers meeting. It was very uncertain whether Prime Minister Modi would visit this summit, and the change of events happened yesterday, perhaps in the likelihood of the tariff war escalation, and India also showing signals to Washington that it is not the only trade partner that India has. India has a host of other partners, and strong messages being given throughout New Delhi with its resolute position in this manner, where Ajit Doval is also in Moscow, and now Prime Minister Modi also signaling. So warm messages coming in from Beijing. Also, as a matter of fact, because Beijing was very keenly looking at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attendance at the SCO as well, something would have been very wrong if PM Modi had not visited there, because SCO again is a grouping made by Shanghai Cooperative Organization that is from Beijing in China. And if Indian Prime Minister going there after Galwan, after 2018 clashes, is a big statement coming to the United States as well, that it's China plus one policy if it goes for a toss. India and China do have strategic partnerships in a manner in which that both of them can function well together. It is only a matter of time. So these statements clearly showing that warm welcome is expected in Tianjin. Whether it brings out something or not is something that remains to be seen, as India has been resolute in its position of protecting national interests against Chinese interests as well. However, a lot of trade negotiation talks also expected to take place there.
Okay, thank you for that, Kritat. Stay with me in what has also come as a surprising diplomatic development in the last few hours. And it's been a week full of surprises. Russian President Vladimir Putin has named the United Arab Emirates as a likely venue for potential talks with US President Donald Trump. Speaking today, Putin has also emphasized that Russia has many friends willing to help facilitate that meeting. And this is very interesting. It's getting more and more interesting there. Putin talking about UAE. In fact, he's meeting UAE leadership. Putin hinted that his meeting with Trump could take place in UAE. And he also said that this could be under the hospitality of a friend, UAE president. He added that the meeting with Zelensky is possible if certain conditions are created. So he's open to meeting Trump in the UAE. He's also saying he's willing to meet Zelensky if conditions are created. And he's banking on friend UAE. Now, UAE has been, of course, hosting talks between different countries in the efforts to bring peace in this part of the world. And it's very interesting. It's also coinciding with the visit of the UAE leadership to Russia at a time when NSA Ajit Doval is also there, Kritat.
And indeed, it's a very interesting development. This will be the third country now getting involved in the mediation talks in the last 6 months that President Trump has taken office. It was first Saudi Arabia, remember, when President Trump went to meet Mohammed bin Salman, and subsequently there were talks held in there where for the first time US and Russian officials sat across the table face to face. Dmitry Peskov, Steve Witkoff, all of these people were sitting at that table. And subsequently, the second round of talks between Ukraine and Russia was taking place in Turkey, in Ankara in particular, and Turkey had high hopes that perhaps it could play the role of a mediator. To no surprise that it was a failure for Recep Tayyip Erdogan in a manner in which that he failed to bring both Ukraine and Russians to the negotiation table. Remember, it was the eve of the talks in Ankara on which Ukraine had launched its longest range strategic bomber fleet of Russia that was attacked at various air bases. Subsequently, those talks fell apart. So now UAE is becoming the third player in this entire equation. As you rightly pointed out, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the president of UAE, is in Moscow today, and he is meeting President Putin. And this is a very significant meeting also because during the Middle East tour of President Donald Trump, UAE was also a very important stop where he was accorded a state visit. So perhaps there was some talks about UAE also playing a neutral party role in this entire matter. UAE in the entire region of Middle East is largely looked at as a very neutral country. It does not have clear alignments pro or anti any other country, which is why it is also, after the United States, is India's second largest trading partner with about 8% of India's exports. And it also has very cordial ties with Russia, which is why the president of UAE is right now in Moscow. And if talks are ongoing, it is very significant because just yesterday, Steve Witkoff, the special envoy of the United States, who was also a key player in mediating the peace between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East, was dispatched to Moscow to have a chat with President Putin, as Trump has now imposed a self-imposed deadline of about 48 hours to 72 hours, where he is expecting Russia to come to the negotiation table and announce a ceasefire. Obviously, a ceasefire is completely out of the question at the moment because no talks have been held in a manner in which both the parties can come to the table. But the latest breaking news update suggests that if UAE can become that place where President Putin and President Trump can sit across the aisle, or if Zelensky and Putin can meet, then it would be a historic shift in the 3 years of conflict in Ukraine that we have seen.
Thank you for joining us with those details. Let's get you some more breaking news updates now coming in. Back-to-back breaking news updates this hour as we run into prime time after Karnataka, Maharashtra EC, the Maharashtra Election Commission, has also now written a letter to Rahul Gandhi. Maharashtra EC has also asked Rahul Gandhi to sign a declaration. Maharashtra EC saying that Rahul must sign an affidavit over his claims of vote theft, and it can't just be shoot and scoot. The breaking news update coming in: the Maharashtra CEO, the chief election officer, has put out a tweet, and we have details of that tweet with us. And that letter written, addressed to Rahul Gandhi, the Honourable Member of Parliament, Leader of Opposition in the Lok Sabha. The Maharashtra CEO saying that the electoral rolls were prepared in a transparent manner as per the Representation of People Act, and the instructions were issued by the EC. And as far as the conduct of elections is concerned, election results can be questioned only by a way of election petition before the Honourable High Court. It is understood that during a press conference you had mentioned about the inclusion of ineligible electors and exclusion of ineligible electors in the electoral rolls. You're kindly requested to sign and return an enclosed declaration or oath along with name of such electors so that necessary proceedings can be initiated. And they've also given a templated declaration that Rahul Gandhi will simply have to put a signature on and share. Not sure whether he will do that, but that's happened. Here's what Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, has said on this issue.
मैं तो आपको ये बताऊंगा 40 लाख नहीं 70 लाख 1,186 वोटिंग बूथ है। एक जगह पर अगर 70 वोट बढ़ते हैं तो 70 लाख होते हैं, और लाडली बहना के वजह से ये वोटिंग परसेंटेज बढ़ा है, किसानों के वजह से बढ़ा है, लाडले भाइयों के वजह से बढ़ा है। महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने तय किया था महायुति को हम विजयी बनाएंगे, क्योंकि महायुति ने 2.5 साल 3 साल में जो काम किया है वो काम जनता के हित में किया है, और इसलिए उनको विपक्ष के नेता के नाते उन्होंने ये अंदाज लगाना चाहिए, और उन्होंने ऐसे जो आरोप लगाते हैं उसको कोई भी एविडेंस नहीं है, कोई भी अर्थ नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है। और बार बार उनको जब वो जीतते हैं, लोकसभा जीत गए तभी उन्होंने आरोप नहीं लगाया, तब चुप बैठ गए। तेलंगाना जीत गए तब उन्होंने आरोप नहीं लगाया, तब चुप बैठ गए। कर्नाटक जीत गए तभी आरोप नहीं लगाया, तब ठीक था चुनाव आयोग। और इसीलिए मैं ये कहूँगा सबसे बड़ा चुनाव आयोग का जो स्कैम हुआ था, वो मनमोहन सिंह जी जब प्रधानमंत्री थे तब बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का वोटिंग राइट छीन के लिया था। वोटिंग राइट छीन के लिया 6 साल के लिए। ये बहुत बड़ा घोटाला था, बहुत बड़ा स्कैम था, और जिसने ये किया उसको इन्होंने मंत्री बनाया और बख्शिश दिया।
देखिए, पहली बात तो यह है कि न महाराष्ट्र में वोटों की चोरी हुई है, न देश में कई वोटों की चोरी हुई है। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि राहुल जी के दिमाग की चिप चोरी चली गई है और उनकी हार्ड डिस्क करप्ट हो गई है। इसलिए लगातार वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं, गलत बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं और जनता का मैंडेट चोरी कर रहे हैं, लोकतंत्र को चोरी कर रहे हैं, लोकतंत्र ने दिया हुआ फैसला चोरी कर रहे हैं। और उनके फिगर भी बार बार बदलते हैं। पिछले समय का महाराष्ट्र में 75 लाख वोट बढ़े, अब का 1 करोड़ वोट बढ़े। महाराष्ट्र के वोटों के बारे में पूरे फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स के साथ हमने उनको जवाब दिया, उसके ऊपर वो जवाब नहीं दे पाए। इसलिए झूठ बोलकर अपनी हार को दबाने की कोशिश कर रहे, कवर फायरिंग कर रहे। उनको पता है आगे भी हारने वाले हैं, तब वो बोलेंगे मैं तो पहले कहता था। इस प्रकार की एक कवर फायरिंग उनकी चल रही है। और मैं सबसे ज़्यादा आश्चर्यचकित इस बात से हूँ कि आप लगातार ये कहते हो कि वोटर लिस्ट में गड़बड़ी है, वोटर लिस्ट में गड़बड़ी है, तो फिर बिहार में कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिवीजन को आप क्यों विरोध कर रहे हो? अगर वोटर लिस्ट में गड़बड़ी है तो वोटर लिस्ट सुधरेगी कैसे? कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिवीजन से। हम मांग कर रहे हैं 10 साल से कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिवीजन कीजिए, डी नोवो वोटर लिस्ट तैयार कीजिए, हम मांग कर रहे हैं। और अब जब चुनाव आयोग वो कर रहा है तो आप उसका विरोध कर रहे हो। सच बात तो यह है कि उनको ये पता है कि उनकी पार्टी का वजूद खो गया है और अपना वजूद वापस पाने की जगह भारत की लोकतांत्रिक संस्थाओं को बदनाम करने का काम ये उनके माध्यम से हो रहा है। मैं इसका धिक्कार करता हूं और जनता उनको वापस अगले चुनाव में इसका सबक सिखाएगी।
Okay, we have some more breaking news coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has reiterated demand for statehood restoration in Jammu and Kashmir, adding that the centre must fulfill promises made after abrogation of Article 370.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जब 370 के मामले में अपनी सुनवाई के बाद फैसला किया, उसमें 2 अहम बातें हुई। एक, इलेक्शन के हवाले से उन्होंने कहा था कि इलेक्शन होने चाहिए, उस पर वक्त की सीमा लगाई गई। उन्होंने स्टेटहुड के हवाले से भी बात की, कहा कि जम्मू कश्मीर में एज सुन एज पॉसिबल, बल्कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके जम्मू कश्मीर को रियासत का दर्जा वापस मिलना चाहिए। तब से लेके अभी तक बहुत वक्त गुजर गया है। हम चाहते हैं कि जल्द से जल्द जम्मू कश्मीर दोबारा रियासत बने।
Okay, we have some more breaking news now coming in. Spain has likely decided to indefinitely suspend its plans to purchase the US-made F-35, the same F-35 which was stranded in India's Thiruvananthapuram. Spain is looking for alternatives and has decided to drop the plan as per a report. The local Spanish media is saying that the contacts for the acquisition of the 5th generation US stealth jets have been halted. Instead, the Spanish government is now looking at European options such as the Eurofighter Typhoon, upcoming fighter combat air system, saying that they will not look at F-35 anymore and that it's going to be a major setback to the US, a major setback to not just America but also its manufacturer Lockheed Martin, the US defense giant. Spain had earlier shown interest but has decided to drop the plan once again with America. Many nations are now thinking twice before doing business with America, also thinking twice before buying the F-35, which was stranded in India for almost a month. All right, we'll take a short break on this edition of the news. We are coming back with that video of Ajit Doval. He's in Moscow and he confirmed that President Vladimir Putin of Russia could be in India soon. We have that coming up. And India saying, bring it on. The Prime Minister saying he's ready to pay the price if required. But he will not give in. He will fight for farmers. That's coming up.
Amity is proud to announce the commencement of its 12th university in India, Amity University, Hyderabad. At the prime location of AeroCity Hyderabad Airport, has a strong focus on high-end research with brilliant students and distinguished faculty who share our mission to change the world together. To apply for this year's session, visit amity.edu/Hyderabad.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप play it your way
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला डिलीशियस हेल्दी एवरीडे
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध, MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना
इंडिया सोना कुछ तो सस्ता लो
सब बढ़िया लो
इसमें क्या खास बात है
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात
मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
MDH की देगी मिर्च
देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का
MDH की देगी मिर्च
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome you watching the Thursday edition of This is Exclusive with me, Shah Vincent. Tonight on This is Exclusive, I come to you with an explosive story. The story of David Coleman Headley and Tahawur Rana. The emails that we have spoken about all this while. Finally, it's out. Details of what really transpired soon after the Mumbai attacks. All of this and another big story that we are going to get you tonight is how multiple racist attacks have been reported in Ireland. Tonight, for the first time, the victims speak out. This and much more in this edition of This is Exclusive. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we are tracking at this hour. Republic tracks exclusive details from the USA extradition order on Tahawur Rana secret email trail accessed. At least 5 racist attacks on Indians in less than 2 weeks in Ireland. Indian embassy issues advisory. During an exclusive conversation with Republic Prime Minister Netanyahu backs India amid Trump's tariff war. Prime Minister Netanyahu reveals big Gaza plan, says Israel will intensify war in Gaza to finish Hamas. Hamas will be handed over to a Gaza will be handed over to a governing body. Russian President Vladimir Putin will visit India, dates yet to be announced. Ladies and gentlemen, Tahawur Hussain Rana and David Coleman Headley forged a sinister partnership that facilitated one of the deadliest terror attacks in modern history, the 26/11 Mumbai attacks of 2008. Rana, a former Pakistan Army doctor, and Headley, a Pakistani-American Lashkar-e-Toiba operative, collaborated to provide logistical and reconnaissance support for the attacks that killed 166 people. Their decades-long nexus rooted in extremist ideologies enabled a sophisticated conspiracy which has been exposed globally. But tonight, our focus is on an email trail. Shocking revelations that have been made in the US extradition order for Rana. In fact, let me first take you through the details of the extradition order and what is the email all about. Shocking revelations have emerged from the US extradition order of Tahawur Rana. Court documents reveal a secret email account set up by Tahawur Rana and Headley for direct, secure communication that was used to orchestrate their deadly plans. Among the targets, India's prestigious National Defence College, with Rana explicitly telling Headley it was on the hit list, aiming to kill more high-ranking Indian military officers than in any India-Pakistan war. And right here is the part that the court stressed on, that their aim was to target the NDC, National Defence College, to unleash more casualties than any war that India has fought against Pakistan. And a special email account was actually set up to exchange the intel information while planning this attack. Let me now take you through the details of Rana's and Headley's secret email. In fact, this finds a mention in the court order, and Rana exactly told Headley that a secret communication to be done. I'm going to now take you through the details of this extradition order. On your screens right now, we're going to take you through the highlighted portions of the order, which categorically makes a mention of why the email was basically created and what was the purpose for it. And this is what has been documented in the extradition order with regards to how exactly all of it was planned. Page number 14 of the extradition order basically makes a mention of how this was actually created and what they essentially wanted. And I'm quoting from the order that has now been accessed. This is what they say. In September 7, 2009 conversation, Rana told Headley that the same Lashkar terrorists who had been killed in the Mumbai attack should be given Nishani-e-Haider. I'm going to come to that in a short while from now. Before that, this is what they had essentially discussed. 7th of September 2009 conversation, Headley and Rana discussed targeting the NDC. Rana told Headley that he was already aware that the NDC was a target, and they talked about how such an attack would kill more high-ranking Indian military officials than previous wars between India and Pakistan. Moreover, Rana had set up an email account for Headley so that Headley could communicate securely with Rana, and Headley transferred a list of Chawad houses in India, including the ones he was supposed to conduct surveillance on, into the email account for security purposes. Now let me tell you what happens now. Headley, the LAT's scout, transferred a list of Chabad houses across India Jewish cultural centers at Delhi, Goa and Pushkar to Rana via this email account, marking them for potential attacks. What's even more alarming is that Rana was in direct contact with Headley's Pakistan-based handlers, including Lashkar-e-Toiba operatives and ISI-linked figures like Major Iqbal, coordinating logistics and reconnaissance. Now, we bring you these exclusive details straight from the US extradition order, which has now been accessed by Republic TV. In fact, we are going to first put out the graphics again, where we are going to take you through each of the details of it. One, how exactly this list was actually given, and secondly, why exactly was this secret email account created. Now, Rana basically used all of this to communicate with him. Not just that, he also used the same very account to actually communicate with Headley's contacts who were based in Pakistan. They were essentially the co-conspirators of the 26/11 attack, and Rana was directly in touch with the co-conspirators in Pakistan. Now, that's the secret email that we have essentially accessed right now. We're going to take you through some more details of it. And in a short while from now, I'm also going to put out another set of details that we have got with regards to what was Headley's recommendation for the terrorists who were involved in the 26/11 attack. And what is it that they had to tell Rana? In fact, Headley had recommendations, and those recommendations I'm going to put out in a short while from now. First, to my colleague Shambhavi, who's joining us on this broadcast. Shambhavi, the US extradition order makes a mention of a secret email account that was basically created by Tahawur Rana, and this was used to communicate with David Coleman Headley as well as the co-conspirators in Pakistan. Walk us through the details that you have.
Well, with the details, we can understand that Rana was not just helping in this case. Rana was actively, very deeply involved in the planning of the entire case, because apart from the details that were shared through this email, there were also allegations that he helped opening a fake business set up so that Headley could come and travel to India, could contact without raising any kind of suspicion. He was in contact with a lot of Pakistani-based terror handlers as well, and was preparing a very safe bed for Headley, email-wise, even for him to travel. So this gives us a very strong point also for India to strengthen the point of UAPA and IPC against him. And this shows that how deeply he was involved in the planning, and was not just a helping hand or helping aid for Headley. Back to you.
Shambhavi, in fact, we have also got another breaking news with regards to what is it that David Coleman Headley had to tell Tahawur Rana in those email conversations. In fact, a recommendation was actually made to award those who participated or those who were involved in the 26/11 attacks, the 9 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists. And this is what David Coleman Headley had to tell Tahawur